Greetings, Battle Brothers. It's me, Aurelia Tempris, defender of the Golden Throne and servant to the Emperor of Mankind, beloved by all. How is everybody doing today? I hope you're serving the Emperor well on this, well, for me, it's a Sunday. For others, it might be a Monday, but how is everyone? I'm excited for today. I say that every stream. Like, I'm excited. I always look forward to these streams, if I'm being perfectly honest. I have a lot of fun. Adjust in my chair. There we go. Hello. Mini Death Knight. That was fast. Yes, let me pull that up for you. There you go. Thank you for the bits, and there is the button. Aurelia lives. Stomp, stomp. That's not what I expected.
We stand ready.
Kevin C., thank you so much for becoming a Legionnaire and joining us today. Oh, I forgot to do a thing. Okay, so some people are having a good day. You bought your house and you're moving in soon. That's really exciting. Good for you. Congratulations. That's always really good. Just turned Monday a few seconds ago. Oh, so you're up late. Well, I really appreciate you staying up late to watch a stream today. Thank you everyone for your patience. I switched the topic last minute due to time constraints on my end. So I really, really appreciate it. Let me just... I have to change one thing. Just one little quick announcement before we get going. So there was some political stuff that happened yesterday. I know it will be tempting to talk about it, but for the time being, that's kind of not the place to talk about it. It is a super hot topic, and I'm going to... There we go. Sorry, I had to clear the chat box so I could set up the new settings. But just so you know, this is not the place to talk about it. So, yeah. I apologize. There's a lot of stuff going on in the world. But let's just avoid that. This is a place where we can have fun and just kind of escape from everything. I do think you should be aware of what's going on in the world. But yes. So, yeah. Yeah, it's big news, but that kind of stuff is not for live streams. Yep. So, sorry, I just added, just temporarily, because I don't normally like to block terms. I've included a blocked term in here, so we're not going to, worry about that today. So, appreciate everyone's patience on that. Just a little baby PSA. All right, I think that's all I got. I think that's all I have. Yeah. Let me... You see, this is the thing. We're not going to talk about it. I literally just said we're not going to talk about it. Okay? Hot topic. I've been tied in the warp for about a week. Well, good. Well, good for you. All right, I'm going to set this up so we're ready to go. Let me switch over to my other screen. Hey. So today, so I knew that there were a bunch of different Warhammer heresies, like different types depending on which, oh gosh, why can't I think? If you flip around the heresies and you do a loyalist version, I know there's a couple different types. So I had those. Why isn't my chat box showing up on my end? What happened to my chat box? Anyways, sorry. I don't know why it's being weird. But in any case, I know there's some loyaltic heresies where it's just like the alternate of the Horus heresy, where all the traitors are loyalists and all the loyalists are traitors. So we're gonna watch some of those today. I know some of them, but not all of them. 40K Theories has a whole video I found this in my stream suggested, and they have a bunch. So I don't know in what order all of these are going to be. This show's 3 hours long. And it's just this like scrolling screen. I don't know how this is going to go. But what we're going to do is we're going to watch this. And we'll see how much we get through, cuz I don't know how long it is, and I don't know everything that's covered in here. So, no, I am looking for no discussion about it at all. Please and thank you. This is your warning. If there's anything else that pops up, my mods will give you a warning, and then after that, at minimum, you're getting timed out. Okay. I'm dead serious about this. I don't like talking about politics. That is not my point as a VTuber and a streamer. That is not something I'm going to get into. I'm here to talk about Warhammer. So, please do not. I'm asking nicely. I am being a little tense about it because it's not my favorite thing. And I also don't like people pushing it. So don't push it with me, because I'm not going to tolerate it. So, now that that's all out of the way, we're going to be good chat, and we're going to have fun, and we're going to learn about the heresies. I know about a couple. The one that I'm the most familiar with, and it's been a while since I looked at it, was the Lionel Johnson heresy. And I think it has some really cool art attached to it. So I don't know what they're going to go over in here. Yeah, we're gonna be goofy in our Warhammer stream today. Any chance you react to the Last Church animation in the future? Well, I already watched it in my personal life, like outside of streaming, and I don't think, like, we might do it for like a movie night eventually, but it's not something I would react to because I've already seen it, and you're not getting a genuine reaction out of me other than like my current thoughts. My friends that I watched it with, they got a full reaction out of me because I hadn't seen it, and they wanted to watch it with me. So they got the whole reaction. Anyways, tacos must be only eaten on Thursday. No, Tuesday. Sorry, I misread you. Yes, correct. Tuesdays. And thank you, Mini Death Knight. Let me put the button up. I don't know why my alert box is quiet today. I can't hear it. I'll have to fix that. Yeah, tacos can only be had on a Tuesday. That's the only controversial thing we'll talk about today, chat. When you're supposed to have your tacos. Okay? Yeah, we'll chat for a little bit so I can get in the zone. Someone has questions? Well, if you have a question, you don't have to ask if you can ask me a question. You could just throw it in the chat. Oh, Diclonius, thank you so much for the 10 gifted memberships. I really appreciate it. Make sure you give Diclonius a shout out if you got gifted a sub. I really appreciate it. Let's see. How has your thoughts on the Last Church changed after watching the TTS review? Have you noticed anything different about it or gained new appreciation for the original? I liked the original. I thought it was good. I see TTS as kind of like a funny add-on. Nothing like legitimately serious and lore changing. I found the Last Church on its own to be kind of an interesting story, and how they discussed all the different things that happened during that time period. How about the Primarch girlfriends on Reddit? They're cool. Their art is cool. That's for sure. So, chat, I think you'll appreciate this. I was having the worst time trying to find the proper art that I wanted for this thumbnail because I had to make it last night since I switched up the subject for today. And I was... So we talked about this like yesterday. They're like, oh, Aurelia's search history probably has lots of sanguineous in it. And I'm like, I actually don't. I don't go around looking up like sus stuff. But it was hilarious because it was like not like a day or two later. I was trying to look up like demonettes, and I was trying to get like the right looking thumbnail for this. It's like I was trying to find the right art, and it was kind of funny because I was like, oh man, look how far I've fallen. I'm searching demonettes to find like a semi-safe one to use for my thumbnail. I was like, well, I couldn't find one that, like, I found some that were good, but either they had stuff showing or I couldn't zoom in enough where the photo wasn't blurry. And I was disappointed. I really wanted to find one that was good. So I opted for Fulgrim in snake form. Aurelia's search history. Hot angel guy in your area, 2 miles away. I like the joke where it's like, oh, I forget what it is, but it's like, there's a countdown. It's like hot moms in your area, 10 miles away. Hot moms in your area 5 miles away. And then it like progressively gets closer, like, oh my gosh, she's here. The Ordomalius would like to know your immediate location. Yeah. So if you looked at my search history now, you would be like, what you searching there, girl? Actually, let me see if it pops up. Let me see if I actually want to see what it looks like if I oh dang it. If I screenshot it. Hang on. I'm gonna go to my search history really fast. You'll find it funny. I did my search history on Pinterest will probably show the most because Pinterest, I don't know, it filters it better. And people have boards that I could like explore, like Fulgrim boards or like Slanesh boards. Oh my gosh, ew! Like the stuff that I saw, chat, ew, disgusting. Not all of it was like super bad, but I was like, this is gross. This is gross. Where is it? Gosh, it's yeah, so unfortunately you can't see most of them because I was like digging around on Pinterest. Yeah, you haven't missed anything. I've been talking about how I was searching demonettes yesterday on to find stuff for my thumbnail, but I was unsuccessful in exactly what I wanted. Oh wait, hang on. That helps. Okay, go 1 second. I'll take a screenshot of this because it's funny. Oh my gosh. Let me make sure there's nothing condemning on here. Super condemning, other than that I was looking up demonettes on the internet. I swear, chat, it was for research purposes, for thumbnail purposes. Okay. It's funny. Hang on. Okay, let me check. There's nothing on here. Okay, good. There's nothing on here that's gonna be bad. Okay, I'm going to the general on the Discord. Join our Discord. Sometimes I post weird stuff here. Not really, though. I think most of the chat posts heretical things. Here we go. I have to, like, label it. Otherwise, the people in the Discord that, like, will see this later will be super confused. Okay, let me double check it one more time to make sure there's nothing in here. It seems pretty straightforward. I'm sorry, it's funny. Why would there be anything bad? No, I'm making sure none of, like, there's no personal information that's in it, and there's not. Because it just says the general site. It doesn't have anything specific, so okay, we're gonna send it. Send. It's funny. It's funny. Anyways, oh my gosh, Dagenhart, thank you for the super chat. The subject is going to get a lot more funny as well as sad than you expect, Captain. Here's for a fun stream without scuff, and I can't wait for the Dornian heresy. Thank you very much. That was a very generous super chat of you. That was very kind of you. I'm really excited because I don't know too much about the Dornian heresy. Other than Erebus gets like, ah, I'm so happy. The only time Erebus will get like killed. We love it. Hey, oh gosh, the Discord's now confused because I even labeled my picture. So
We stand ready.
Peprin? Pepper and Ray, thank you so much for the gifted subs. Congratulations to the two of you who got gifted subs, and thank you very much. Thank you for contributing to the Legion. Oh, I labeled the pictures. What I mean is, in the Discord server, I just put a note in, so it was it wasn't just a picture with like my search history. And I didn't search all of those things. Those are just links I happened to click on. Honestly, my favorite heresy is the Lion Heresy. Dornian feels a little bit too forced, but maybe it got better since I saw it. Yeah, see, I don't know. I don't even know about it. Oh, gosh. Okay. I'm gonna click off this. Yeah, sometimes your search history can be a little sus when you're trying to make good thumbnails that draw people's attention, and they're like, "Why is she looking at Snake Fulgrim like that? What kind of like weird person is this? Why is she into the snake guy?" Heresy, where's the button? The button's right here. All right, Erebus is the best. Yeah. Get muted. Get muted. No, your super chat did go through Dagenhart. I saw it. Sometimes it takes a second for it to load. But it did go through. It did go through. I'm deleting my cookies. No, I'm not that. I don't need to delete anything. We're fine. We're fine. You don't know anything about the alternate heresies? Great, we'll learn together, because I don't know some of them either. All right, I'm gonna move this over to the side. Oh, the Robutian heresy. Oh, that does sound scary because of how well organized he is. Emperor's Children, Aurelia when? Are you new to my streams, sir? Are you new to the streams? Because I think I have something that will... Oh, which one is it? I think it's this one. I have something that will make your day. What are you talking about? I already have an Emperor's Children model. Yeah, clickbait chat. That's how you get things to work. Come on, that's one of the things I had to learn. I was like, I hate it that I have to do it, but like... But clickbait, though. So yes, here, I already have an Emperor's Children's model that I color for fun. Oh, I scrolled down. Oh, let's fix that. I'm not going to do this the whole time because I like my other model better. I like it best. Long white hair that could rival Fulgrim. Now, no, you're not the S word. We cannot say the S word. Twitch hates the S word. You're pining. But also, save your pining for the Emperor, okay? Okay? You're talking to a married lady right here. I'm very much committed to my husband, Sanguinius. Save it for the Emperor, the big E. Oh, thank you, Dakenhart, for the super chat. Easily my favorite aspect of the Dornian heresy is the version of Angron, though I can't wait to see how you react to what happens to Dornian Sanguinius. I don't remember. There's a couple different options. I think in the Lionel heresy, they fell to Khorne. And I think I heard that Sanguinius falls to Nurgle in the Dornian heresy. I'm not 100% sure. First stream, I can catch. Good to see another Custodes player. Yes, I've tried to play tabletop. I lost once to my friend, and I got thrashed. Absolutely thrashed by Guard. Let me switch my model back. I just wanted to show off that I do fun color streams. Yay! It's Aurelia. She's back. She's back, chat. I like this model better. It's the best, in my opinion. Yes, Sanguinius is my husbando. Yes, you could also say that too. They're the same. Husband, husbando. Yes, technically widowed, but, you know, still married. Technically, like, yes and no, but yes. Whoop, whoop, whoop. It's fine. Wait, oh, dang it. When I need to click off the screen, otherwise I'll scroll the size of my model, and I don't want to do that. Okay. More like Aurelia Temptress? Yeah, definitely not. I'm the last tempting thing in the universe. Anyways, sorry. He's not dead, just on a break. We were on a break. Yeah, gold is the best color. I agree. All right, I'll do one more zoom in. Yeah, okay, that's good. That's the only downside about switching out the models. I have to resize it. That's fine. Yeah, I like to make jokes about myself. I don't do it too well. That's not entirely true. I sometimes make the jokes. Okay, slide this over. We're gonna open the screen. We're actually gonna watch this chat. We're actually gonna get ready to do it. Move, open. Let's see. Excellent. If you laugh, that's all that matters. Yes, in a way, it does. All right, let's do it, chat. So, yeah. So to reiterate, this is by 40K Theories. Go follow their channel. I didn't link the video in my description. One second. We're gonna link it at least on the YouTube side. I'm gonna link the video. Go follow them. They've got cool content. Let me save that. Save. Okay. Go watch their video. Go support that channel. They're great. They're awesome. I could have watched the playlist, but I figured it would just be better to do it in this whole big block, so we're not interrupted. Yeah, so I think that's it. So go follow them. They're going to be great, and I'm excited to react to all of these. Fanfiction heresies, yes, but at least they're the tame fanfictions. No spicy fanfictions here. Please and thank you. Yes, support the original release. All right, let me adjust the audio accordingly. Is it going? It's going. Excellent. Yeah, so this is a compilation of multiple videos.
The triumph of Ulanor. The Emperor's...
Oh, we just go right into it. Okay, let me make sure it's up. Link where? I put it in the YouTube description. On Twitch, I don't know where, I don't have a spot to put it. Well, I haven't tried, but... All right. Yeah, you can do whatever you want. You could fall asleep to the stream. I do not mind at all. All right, we'll start over, and we'll do that.
Forces have... The triumph of Ulanor. The Emperor's...
Oh, actually, you know what I'm gonna do? Can I put on captions? They're unavailable. That's unfortunate, because I like to... I can't really comprehend unless I can read my video. It's fine. Well, this is fine. It just might be boring, but don't worry, I'll pause it. I'll keep things entertaining.
Back and defeated the forces of the biggest orc warlord in the sector. But the time comes for the Emperor to return to Terra to complete a secret project.
Dun dun dun.
To this end, he decides to appoint a war master.
Like I said the other day, chat, he's just gonna go home and sit on his couch. I made the joke about that he's just gonna go home and sit on the couch. No. He does more important things than that. Dang it.
In his name. Initially, he considers Horus, but decides that it might drive a wedge between him and his brothers. For it was known that Horus was the most beloved of the Emperor's sons.
One
he
of the most.
To pick someone else. A brother whom the others would respect and honor. A man who would become a leader amongst leaders. The Emperor chooses the angel Sanguinius.
Oh, yo, we're starting with a good one, chat. Oh, this is going to be exciting, but I'm also going to be really, really sad. Oh, I'm so excited. Oh, we're starting with the Sanguinius one. How long is it? I don't know if these indicate the end of a video. Oh, this is going to be so good, chat. Oh my gosh, I cannot wait. Yes, husband mentioned.
This decision respectfully declines.
Oh.
He argues that he should not be War Master, for he believes himself too emotional to be able to handle the stresses of commanding every fighting force in his father's Imperium.
Yes!
Sanguinius suggests Dawn, for Dawn was a great warrior.
Yo, my husband being based? Husband being super based? Wow, I'm like being realistic with what's gonna happen. Yes, based. So based. Good job, babe.
Stoic, noble, even if he did seem emotionless at times. Dawn had the shoulders that could bear the weight of an empire. The Emperor considers Sanguinius' request before agreeing, and Dawn takes up the title of War Master. Near the eastern fringes, close to the realm of Ultramar, the Ultramarines finish their compliance of the small system of Kutas, driving to extinction a violent Xenos race known as the Qatari. It was while on the main world of the system, Kutas Prime, that the Ultramarines' forces discovered an ancient artifact known as a Black Oculus. The Qatari seemed almost desperate to protect this vast relic of black stone. It was engraved with what looked like some kind of Xenos creatures dancing and convorting around the hieroglyphic script.
That sounds bad. Sounds like chaos,
Against his
chat.
legion's wishes, Guilliman, as a man who loved ancient history, felt compelled to study the artifact. The Ultramarines' attempts to remove the Oculus were in vain. It seemed embedded into the very bedrock of the planet, and were not moved by crane nor by melter charge. He became obsessed with the Oculus, much to his first captain's chagrin. Soon, he began to hear...
I don't know, Dorn never has struck me as the type that's like obsessive in like investigating, more like just obsessive in like fortifying. Like I wouldn't expect him to be like research obsessive. I was thinking that, imagine how guilty you'd feel recommending the guy who presumably turns traitor. Yeah, this is, that crossed my mind. So I wonder how Sanguinius is going to handle this later. Cause that's, oof, chat. Oh, they're talking about Guilliman being obsessed. I guess I got my wires crossed. Bobby G. Okay, thank you.
Voices from the artifact that no one else could. They were speaking directly to him. The artifact was speaking directly to him.
Hey, be careful, chat. Don't always listen to the voices in your head. Sometimes they're stupid. Okay? I'm just warning you. Don't always listen to the voices in your head. What are we watching? We're watching Dornian Heresy. Maybe I should... No, it's too late. It's fine.
A faint glow emerged from what appeared to be an engraving of an outstretched hand. Upon touching it, he felt as if his soul had left its mortal frame.
Oh. Also, don't touch cursed objects.
Colors, and could make up the form of two figures coalesce within the chaotic vortex. One avian, one feminine. These beings told Guilliman everything. The truth of his father, of his origin, and the source of his powers. They showed him that gods were real, and the imperial truth was a lie. The creatures also told Guilliman that he and his brothers...
So is this Guilliman becoming Lorgar? Is that what's happening here? I think it's this. I think Guilliman is going to be Lorgar in this one. I'm a huge Perturabo piner. I'd love to see a loyalist. Yeah, if you like Perturabo, of course you'd love to see any possibility of him getting to beat up on Dorn, especially when Dorn is the bad guy. How do we know it's cursed unless we touch it? Chat, there are warning signs to cursed objects. You can just tell. You can tell. Like, you have to keep your mind, you have to keep your eyes open and be like, huh, is this thing whispering weird things? Does it make me cold or hot or feel some sort of way when I get close to it? That's just the beginning. Does it glow without an easily recognizable power source? Is the power source alien? Is it of Xenos origin or something else? Be smart, chat. Be safe out there, chat. Be safe out there. Don't make bad choices. Don't make bad choices with. At least cast Identify on it, okay? Yes, or roll Arcana. That's fine. Both are good. Lick the Orb of Power. If you lick an Orb of Power, does it shock your tongue like a 5-volt battery? That's one of the things that my dad used to do with us as kids. If he, like... he'd be like, hey, Aurelia, you want to lick this battery? And then it shocks you. I did it quite a bit as a kid. Not like, oh, I forgot. That's what I did. It's just because I thought it was funny and it felt weird. I knew someone was going to say something about their air conditioner or their heater. Your air conditioner, those don't qualify unless it's a cursed one, and then I don't know what to do about that. Anyways, chat, we'll get back to the video.
Would become extinct following the Great Crusade, the same fate as the Emperor's previous Thunder Warriors, and that a new force will replace them.
Oh boy.
Guilliman felt his soul return to his body and fell to his knees, and began to weep. Everything he knew was a lie. A shard of the oculus broke off and landed in front of him, in the shape of an 8-pointed star.
Oh, that's bad news.
To Macragge, Guilliman would learn that his close friend Rogel Dawn had been appointed as the new War Master.
Congrats.
Dawn was one of Guilliman's dauntless few. The brothers that Guilliman himself could trust with anything. He needed to inform his brother that their father had lied to them about everything. He would keep the star he recovered close to him, and ordered his artisans to forge a new set of armour for him, with the 8-pointed star imposed over his father's Aquila.
That's really bad, chat. That's really bad. Oh, that's not good. That's not good. Oh, thank you for the super chat. This is the Theoretics Heresy, not the Dornian Heresy. I think it's similar because Dorn is the War Master. But yes, technically it is the Theoretics Heresy, but I think they just choose Dorn for whatever reason. Don't touch it, it's cursed. Trust me, I licked batteries. I also saw someone said Aurelia electro-stimming as a child. It's not like I did it every day, chat. It was just like whenever we like brought up a whole thing where you'd like lick the battery, like it was like, oh yeah, remember the battery, or there's a 5-volt battery mentioned, which is not often. Then it's like, oh, let me just lick the battery to see if it still does it. And it does every time if it's like charged. It's funny. We've also tricked younger siblings and cousins to do it. It's fantastic. It's the best. It's the best. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Deep within the Davin system, War Master Rogel Dawn received word from his brother, Rebute Guilliman.
Oh no.
Guilliman requested that Dawn come and see him on the world of Kutus Prime.
Oh.
Dawn initially declined, for he was too focused on fighting their father's wars. He had sent the Blood Angels to the Vespar system to liberate the human populations from their Xenos dictators, and had ordered Fulgrim of the Emperor's Children and Ferrus Manus of the Iron Hands to apprehend their brother, Conrad Kurz, whose atrocities needed investigating, and if need be, answering for. Guilliman ordered one of his captains, Verus Caspian, to travel to Dawn's flagship the Phalanx,
Mm-hmm.
entrusting him with the Shard of the Oculus. Caspian was ordered to deliver the shard to him at any cost, for Dawn needed to know the truth about everything.
Huh.
In the Vespar system,
Bad news.
Sanguinius and the Blood Angels would fight numerous battles on the worlds that had fallen under the thrall of an unknown Xenos species. They were tall, lithe creatures with large leathery wings, like
Oh.
demons of legend. The Blood Angels could find no traces of humanity though, except for empty hab blocks and bleached bones.
Oh, that's bad. That's
The Blood
bad.
Angels would fight for weeks against the Xenos, and, eventually, Sanguinius and his children forced the remaining Xenos warriors, left upon the final world, into what appeared to be a temple. Upon
Oh
entering
no! Oh no! Sanguinius is gonna do the Fulgrim arc! Dang it! No! 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 Oh no! It sounds like it's gonna be Korn he falls to in this one. Because they talked about like the leathery wings. Ah, dang it! Dang it, chat! Ah! Aurelia foaming at the mouth whenever Hawkboy is mentioned. It's not every time, but it's pretty often. No, not Snake Husbando. He might be your Snake Husbando, he's not mine. I'm not gonna have a good time later this stream. I knew it was gonna be a bad time because even in the good version, the current version of the Warhammer universe, the heresy sucks for Sanguinius. It sucks because he dies. Spoiler alert, I guess. If you didn't know, he dies. Everyone pretty much knew that though. And then for the traitor side, he becomes a traitor, and that's bad too, and he'll probably die again. I guess then we make a traitor Aurelia. If I marry traitor Sanguinius, what would that look like? Ooh, I hope he lives then. Ooh, that's kind of cursed though, because if it was like the only like Warhammer universe where we could be together, he's a traitor. Oh, yikes! That would suck. That would suck. But he'd be alive. But in what state, though? That's kind of important. Becomes a traitor just to be with husband? Yes. Okay.
temple, there was no sign of the Xenos. Sanguinius and his men became awestruck at the sight before them.
Dang it.
The walls of the temple were beautifully adorned,
Dang it.
painted with murals and decorated with vast jewels and gold leaf.
Oh no.
Vast pillars were erected around the temple,
Oh, it's worse.
each one with an item of jewelry made from gold, silver, platinum,
Oh.
and various other unknown yet beautiful metals.
Gonna fall to Slanesh.
Enthralled by the sheer beauty,
Oh, that's even
Sanguinius
worse.
and his men were distracted long enough for the Xenos to launch their final, desperate assault.
What? How?
The Xenos were wiped out, but not before taking a heavy toll on the Astartes. Sanguinius ignored the fallen corpses of his men
Oh.
and approached what appeared to be a mirror for how reflective its surface was.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh
As he
no.
took hold of it,
No.
he could feel its inviting warmth through his
No.
armored fingers.
No.
He instructed his men to take the remaining items back to their ship,
No.
while the temple itself, like all places of worship throughout the Great Crusade, was to be destroyed.
Ah, dang it.
The jewelry would rest in the ship's reliquary as trophies. It later transpired, thanks to information gathered from Blood Angel's patrol sweeping the system, hunting down any possible Xenos survivors, that the human populations were rounded up like cattle, and either butchered, devoured, or processed into what could only be described as some kind of narcotic. In the days that followed,
Yikes, that's a way to go. Yikes. This isn't good. I get the feeling, I thought he was gonna fall to Korn, but now I wonder if he's gonna fall to Slanesh. And I think that's the worst one. This isn't good, chat.
Sanguinius found himself spending more and more time within this flagship's reliquary,
No!
admiring his new trophies.
No!
Donning a
No!
necklace here,
He's not
and a
like
ring
that.
there. He smiled to himself as he found himself finding joy at how
No.
beautiful he looked with them. Slowly, he found his senses were becoming heightened whilst wearing the jewellery from the temple.
Oh, no.
His reflexes were seemingly faster in the training cages, and blows he suffered in sparring matches gave him no pain, but joy. He began to act.
Dang it! Dang it! Dang it! Dang it! That's even worse. Slaanesh is my least favorite. Slaanesh is my least favorite. Why? Brian, be quiet. Be quiet, Brian. I don't want to hear any of that, Brian. I don't care. I hate Slaanesh. That is like some messed up stuff that I don't want to be involved in. No.
As if he was addicted,
Aww.
but he couldn't help it, because it gave the angel so much pleasure.
Ugh.
The forces of the Emperor's children and the Iron Hands landed upon the world of the Night Lord's latest compliance.
I'm crying.
The sight that befell them was horrifying. Rows upon rows of makeshift crucifixes with butchered, mutilated corpses impaled upon them. The Primarchs Fulgrim and Ferrus Manus eventually found their brother, Conrad Kurz, Primarch of the Night Lord's Legion, executing those soldiers who had surrendered in the war. Fulgrim and Ferrus were appalled by Conrad's actions, and demanded to know why Kurz would do such a thing. Kurz answered that the only way to keep peace throughout the Imperium was through fear, to prevent uprisings, to make an example of all who would stand against them.
It's not
For
great.
the purpose of the Great Crusade was to conquer. Fulgrim and Ferrus disagreed.
Okay, someone said, does this mean Sanguinius becomes a biblically accurate angel? I think only if he felt a Tzeentch. Then yes. Because then he'd have the eyes everywhere, and honestly, that'd look kind of cool. In, like, the most heretical sense, it would look very cool. Don't worry, chat. Brian has learned his lesson.
They argue that their role was to bring illumination and truth to the masses, and if the people were treated with compassion, they would serve loyally. Kurz called his brothers weaklings and naive.
Ooh.
Fulgrim and Ferrus called Kurz a cynical fool. In their father's name, Fulgrim and Ferrus went to apprehend the Night Lord,
Oh.
but Kurz would not go quietly.
Would he ever? No.
After a brutal and bloody fistfight, Fulgrim and Ferrus bound Comrade Kurz in heavy black iron shackles and
Oh,
chains,
dang.
with the intent of bringing him back to Terra to stand trial for his actions. Varus Caspian was granted permission to dock with the Phalanx, and requested a private audience with Rogel Dawn. The Ultramarine explained everything that Gilliman had discovered to the Warmaster. Rogel Dawn was outraged at the accusations that their
Oof.
father would betray him and his brothers.
Oh, thank you very much. Caligosa? Is that how you say it? Thank you so much for the raid. Thank you very much. What were you up to today, raiders? Welcome everyone. What were we up to? My name's Aurelia, by the way. We're currently watching some alternate heresies. We're watching the Theoreticus heresy. It's a YouTube channel that does 40k theories. And we're having a lot of fun. Is that a sleeping stream? ZZZ stream? Does that mean you were sleep? Or is that a game? I'm not familiar enough. Zoneless Zone here. I was like, a sleeping stream? That's an interesting choice. The only time I see people sleeping on streams is if they're doing a like a marathon. And you don't ever see them sleeping. They put stuff up so you can't see them. Zenless Zone here. Okay, cool. Yeah, I've never there's a lot of games I gotta play. I haven't heard of that game. I would play it's a gacha game. Oh, chat. Okay, chat. Full disclosure, I'm not really into like gacha games because it's like, oh well, you're just like you're paying money for stuff. Anyways, doesn't matter. But I would play a Warhammer gacha game if there was like if it was a Warhammer one with like different Sanguinius skins, then I would play it. I would play it so hard, chat. Like if Sanguinius had like different outfits and stuff, oh my gosh, you better believe I would be slapping the button. I don't care. I'd collect all the Primarchs and I'd be like, I want Sanguinius with what's a good example? What's like a reasonable example? Like, oh, I want the Sanguinius in like the tux, like he's like a spy version. Like I would find that so funny. I would play that so hard. Because normally gacha games just aren't my thing, but I would play it. I have every 5-star Sanguinius, mostly the summer versions. I can neither confirm or deny that I would do this. Oh, my dress-up Sanguinius. I want Sanguinius' skin. She sounds like a Night Lord. You know I don't mean that. It's like the video game skin. I don't go around and be like, I want your skin. Give me your skin. Oh no, not another tax day Gilliman. He's not even 4-star. Pulling for a Primarch today spends $465. Oh gosh, I couldn't. My Imperial oh my gosh. I would play that game, chat. I would play that game. I think I'd be the only person who'd play that game. GW, if you see this, if you make this game, I'll spend money. I will spend money. Oh my gosh. Keeps pulling Perturop. No, it would be worse if I kept pulling Lorgar. If I kept pulling Lorgar, that I'd be so mad. I have a game for you, Horus Heresy Legions. What? Tell me about it. I think it's on my list, but I don't know what every single game does on that list, or like what the purpose is. Tell me more. Triler? Triler? I think that's what it is. Sanguinius Butler skin just dropped today. We're going for it $500 later. Oh gosh, no. Oh my gosh. See, I do have some kind of luck when I play Dungeons and Dragons with my friends. I am incredibly lucky. I roll a lot higher than most of them. But I don't know if that luck extends to gambling. I spent $50 on Transformer stuff in Overwatch 2 to 3 days ago. 2 to 3 days ago. Can't say anything. Oh my gosh. No, don't pull for S rank Fulgrim. No, none of that. None of that. I'll take your 5-star Perturabo off your hands. I don't know. Honestly, I most of them I don't mind. It would just be it would just be like the Lorgar ones I'd be pissed about. Oh, Caiaphas Canevid showed up on my YouTube feed. Had to follow. Thank you very much. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I'm a huge nerd, and I love talking about Warhammer stuff. Iron Within. $70 in Darktide skins. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh, so Horus Heresy Legions is a battle card game? Oh, okay. SSS tier, the Emperor in his pajamas. I'm not judging anyone if they like to play those games or anything. I'm just saying, like, I don't quite get it, but I understand if it's got like if it's Sanguinius and all that. Oh my gosh, yes. Fulcrum and Sanguinius would battle for the hottest one. Honestly, I think if GW did it and they did it right, like I think the best way for them to do it would be like in like that pseudo, like that like anime style. Because then I think if they made the Primarchs all like attractive enough, like I think they could maybe get some girls. But also, I've seen a lot of VTubers play the gacha games, and it's kind of funny. They're like, "Oh my gosh, my waifu," and it's so funny. It's so funny. I like to say it on occasion too. It's like, "Oh yes, she'd be my waifu," even though I'm only into guys. It's purely just for the just for the joke of it. It's for the joke of it. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. Primarchs, yes. You pulled over 200 times for your waifu cat girl? Oh my gosh, no. Oh, but I mean, I guess if Sanguinius was on the line, I could see it. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. That just sounds... Oh my gosh. Warhammer Gacha sounds cursed. It is a little cursed. I fully admit it. And I'm not the type to be like, oh, let's bring romance and similar things like that into Warhammer. I'm not that type, but I think it would be so funny. Wait, where is it? I just saw a message. Where does it go? Where'd it go? I saw it! Dang it. I saw a comment. Where did it go? I wanted to read it. Is it up here? Is it on this side? With all the VTubers watching Bricky's videos at the moment, I'm sure a lot of them will play the hypothetical Warhammer Gacha game. I think so. I'd play it. There it is. Oh my gosh, that's a lot of money, chat. Chat, how much money have you spent on games like that? I just need to know. Ultra rare card is little kitten without armor. Oh my gosh. You would spend money for Lude Lorgar? What's wrong with you? He's not even one of the best Primarchs. He's a lame Primarch, chat. If you're gonna chat, if you're gonna spend money on this theoretical gacha game, the best ones that you should like, it should be Sanguinius, Fulgrim, pre or post Heresy for Fulgrim. Either one, frankly. What's another one that people like a lot that they're Kurz. A lot of people like Kurz too. So I'm just telling you, like, don't go for like the lame Primarchs like Lorgar. Oh my gosh, chat. This is a lot of money. Yeah, I can see people going for Vulcan too. Thank you very much. Yeah, see? Yeah. Okay. I wish I was half as hot as Korax. Yeah, we're not talking about the female Primarchs in here. We're talking about the male ones. And no, you can't fix female Lorgar. My friend said that the other day, and I said, you are wrong. You're completely wrong. Oh my gosh. Trade in all your Lorgar skins for more packs. I would do that in a heartbeat. Oh my gosh. Some nerds would go for Magnus. See, they all have like their quirks, except for Lorgar. I'm so glad we talked about this. I was thinking about this the other day. I'm like, that'd be so funny. Female Lorgar would somehow be worse. I could feel it. Yeah, you're right. What do you mean I'm a male? I want to look like him, not at him. Well, then you don't need to get the skin. Saint Celestine would be crazy. Oh gosh, yeah. Yeah. Because I wonder if they do like Primarchs or if they do like a bunch of different ones. So they do like Sisters of Battle. Oh, imagine getting Amberly Vale. That would be a good one too, chat. Amberly Vale would be a great pull, especially if you get her like, she has like 2 skins. Inquisition outfit. Well, this is as far as I've read in the books. And then like her blue dress that she meets Kane in, and she looks really good doing it, according to Kane. Female Kurz is a need. No, chat. You do not need her. She does not need you either. she would sooner kiss you than make you a mess on the floor. So I hate to break it to you, because she'll likely just break your back. No, oh gosh, this is so cursed. This is so cursed. Oh gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh, someone just said this. When we're talking about wearing skins, I can't decide whether that would be more like hers or more like Alfarius. Wouldn't that be funny though? If you like got a pull. Oh, this would be so vile. If you thought you pulled an impressive one, like it was a 5-star one, but it was actually Alfarius, so it pops up and you're like, oh my gosh, I got whoever, and then they're like, just kidding, it's Alfarius. Oh no! That would be so funny, but people would be so mad thinking they got like a 5-star skin or something. Oh my gosh, that'd be so evil. That'd be so evil. Oh, but I love it. I love this concept. Oh my gosh. That's a fantastic idea. GW needs to make this for all the simps. I mean, Piners. I didn't say that, Twitch. I didn't say that. Anyways. But I mean, I think a good consolation would be, it would be like the same level. So let's say you pulled like a 5-star skin. You would get like a 5-star Alfarius. So like you'd still get a 5-star one, but it wouldn't like, it just wouldn't be the one you thought you got. Like getting a Ditto in Pokemon, yeah. Yeah. No, they can't be all Alfarius. They can't all be Alfarius. Oh, this is the concept. I love it. I love it, chat. We got to get together. Got to get some art made. Oh, every skin has an Alfarius and Calidus Temple version, which are ultra and super rare, respectively. Oh gosh, terrifying. Oh, terrifying. Anyways. Blue Archive with Primarchs, that's so cursed. I saw, actually, when I was going around yesterday looking for art for the thumbnail, it looked kind of wholesome. I haven't seen any Blue Archive, but I did see this art of Fulgrim with one of the Blue Archive characters, and honestly, it was wholesome. Like, I was like, this is so cute. Like, I love this. This is absolutely adorable. So... Anyways, chat, so off topic. I just thought it was funny. It was really good. I just thought I would totally play a game like that. And I think some of you would too. Oh gosh. Be careful, chat. Anyways, we'll get back on this. I'm so sorry for... It's my $1 million idea. Come on, GW, please make it. You know how much money you'll get. Doesn't matter how pissed off you make us. I will get the Sanguinius skins. But I mean, at least it was a Warhammer, though. At least it wasn't a tangent that was like, let me tell you about my dog. Or my pet, or something like that. There's art of Fulgrim in Blue Archive. Oh boy, I found one. It was like the reverse. Anyways. What? No. We're not going to talk about... We're going to get back to the video. We're not going to talk about what gameplay would look like. Okay. It's hard to trim giant VODs like this because it's mostly... It's probably going to be like, if I trim the VOD, it'll be like highlights. Maybe I'll just make this part of video by itself. That would be That'd be funny, I think. Okay. We're gonna start, chat. I hope you're focused.
In his anger, Dawn let loose a punch so hard to Caspian's face that his helmet would shatter, leaving bloody scars across his face.
That's
the
bad.
The shard of the oculus that Caspian held fell from his grip and landed on the floor with a gentle, clinking sound. Dawn would have Caspian taken away and locked within the ship's brig, and would decide on a punishment for the Ultramarine later.
Yikes.
Rogel Dawn picked up the stone shard in the shape of an 8-pointed star and examined it. Feeling a gentle, almost imperceptible surge of energy emanate from it. He then demanded the ship's captain and navigator to set course for the Kutus system. Guilliman would answer for his accusations. Dawn would see to it personally.
Oof.
Guilliman would spend more time on Kutus Prime, studying the artifact more and more. He would learn through ancient texts that the Black Oculus was known to the Eldar race.
Just thinking about this, like, Lorgar... Not that he was perfectly incompetent or, like, very incompetent. He just didn't do a great job during the Heresy. He wasn't very helpful. Guilliman scares me. If Guilliman is the Lorgar, like, everyone's hosed. Everyone's hosed. Hosed, chat. This concerns me greatly.
As the gateway to the gods, he became more and more obsessed, performing daily pilgrimages to the realm where he met the godly bringers of truth and enlightenment. His growing fanaticism and fervour spreading throughout his legion slowly, like a cancer.
Yikes.
He was soon informed that the entire Imperial Fist's legion was en route to the system.
Yeah, I gotta mess you up.
With the intention of making Guilliman explain his actions and heretical accusations. Guilliman smiled as his brother made his way to the planet, and Guilliman's forces stood ready to greet them. His honor guard also wearing the symbol of the 8-pointed star upon their breast and pommels.
That's not good. Dagenhart, thanks for the super chat. Gotcha idea, you pull a Custodes only to learn that it's Alfaris and Custodes armor. That would honestly be funny, because that's like perfect from the Alfarius book. I like that idea. That's a good one. I will say, chat, how do we like the pacing on this? We're 12 minutes in. Do we want this to be faster? I don't mind it, but I want to make sure you guys are entertained. If you think going a little faster would be better, I'm happy to put it up to like 1.5 or something, because I'm fine with the pace, but you know, I just want your opinion. You sped up a little bit, you just have fun goofing around, speed it up. Okay, it looks like people, I have just a couple people so far are saying to speed it up. Some people say the pace is fine. I might not speed it up by much. We're going back and forth. You be listening at 3 times speed? Oh my gosh. That's kind of fast. I'm going to just go a tiny bit faster. I'm just going to do 1.25. That's like a good middle ground for everything. Oh yeah, I know there's other content creators that have done other videos on the other heresies. This one was just like, when I was like, oh, it's nice and long, we can listen to it. Yeah. The pace, it's not the pacing that's the problem. Yapping for 20 minutes. Shush. This is why you're here. This is why you're here. You're here to enjoy the yapping. Right? Right? Okay. Well, that's my adjustment, and it shouldn't be too much.
The Emperor of Mankind was becoming increasingly unhappy with his son, Magnus the Red, and his legion, the Thousand Sons.
What else is new?
The legion had, despite the dangers it presented, and the warnings the Emperor himself had given them, continued their studies of the warp and sorcery.
Dang it, Magnus!
The Emperor soon couldn't withstand such repeated disobedience, and thus held the Council of Nicaea.
Bonk. Bonk him, chat.
Despite the arguments of Magnus and his legion, the Emperor forbade the use of sorcery throughout the legions.
Okay, that's consistent.
Of demanding the librarius of each legion to be disbanded. All Astartes with psychic potential were to return to rank-and-file duties within their legions. Despite Magnus's protests, the Emperor decreed that due to his son's disobedience, a unit of the Legio Custodes, the personal bodyguards of the Emperor himself, were to return with Magnus to Prospero to ensure that his decree was followed.
So Magnus is also like Lorgar.
Magnus was a glutton for knowledge, who would risk anything to acquire it. This way, at least, the Emperor would know that his son would do what was told of him. Rogel Dawn's forces landed upon the world of Cultus Prime, anger boiling throughout his veins. Guilliman bade for the War Master to heed his words, and would show him the Black Oculus. He requested for his brother to place his hand upon the structure, so that he may be enlightened.
Oh boy.
Dawn hesitated, fearing some kind of deception, but, reluctantly, agreed to do so. Like his brother before...
Don't touch weird objects, chat. And if your brother's got a crazed look in his eye and he's done some dumb things and he's like, here, brother, touch the object, just touch it. It's like, I feel like it's like it's like, pull my finger. Don't pull the finger, chat. You know what it does.
For him, Rogel Dawn felt his soul enter the realm of the gods, and unlike Guilliman, was not greeted by 2, but 5 figures, which formed a very swirling chaos.
5?
As they did with Guilliman, they told Dawn the origins of the Emperor, and the source of his otherworldly powers. But additionally, they told Dawn that only he, as War Master of mankind, could save the human race from extinction. The Emperor, they told him, would not only destroy the Astartes after the conquest of the galaxy, but slowly would destroy all of humanity, so that he could ascend to godhood. They explained that they simply wished to be left alone, and thus would do anything to assist the War Master in his goals.
Yikes.
For their goals aligned. If the Emperor's plan to become a god were to fail, Dawn would be made a hero of the Imperium. No, not a hero. A saint. Humanity would enter a new golden age, guided by the fist of Rogel Dawn.
I don't know, like, Dorn's never struck me as the guy that's like, oh, let's, that he would be all like wanting praise and stuff like that, being like the savior, like, and you know, it's a different, this is someone else's version, but like in my mind, it's like he's never given me that impression, and he's just done his duty because that's what he was supposed to do. That was like right. It doesn't feel like this is like really Dorn in like this moment right now. Actually, we're gonna... Yeah, Dorn's just like he's just like duty. I'm gonna make myself a little bigger because we can. And there's nothing going on the screen, so there's no point. We can... I'll give myself a nice big... I'll be big for this stream. You can see me better. But I still want to have the video up so you can see it. Yeah, they're really dutiful. It doesn't seem like he wants the flattery and the praise. Like I could see Fulgrim being like that. Let me move the button. Hang on. There we go. There's the button. I could see Fulgrim being like that, and I could see some of the others being like that, but yeah, that just doesn't strike me as Dorn. Dorn would not be the one to drink the religious Kool-Aid. Yeah, he almost killed Sigismund during the heresy because he refused an order and mission to stay behind and use faith and religion for it. Yeah, I don't think he'd be the kind to drink the Kool-Aid. Like, the way I could see Dorn falling is like, your father's like ideals have like fallen short from what like he actually like planned, and he's starting to become misguided in his like old age or something like that, and that these were his plans, but he's a hypocrite and he's falling away from them, and it's not what he promised the world would be like. That's like closer. I'd love to write it down to give you like a better example, but that's how I'd best put it. So yeah, there you go. There's my 2 cents. Now you can see my face all big while this thing spins. You can see my whole face.
Rogel Dawn initially denied such a thing could be possible, but the godly beings filled Rogel's mind with visions of the past, of the present, and what must have been the future. Or at least, a future. He was shown a future where humanity would become paranoid and violent, locked in a dark age of mythology and eternal suffering, where, in the grim darkness of the far future, there was only war.
Wow.
He was shown visions of ghostly beings, wreathed in flame and bone, a twisted mockery of the proud and noble Legio Astartes. He saw his beloved brother, Sanguinius, dead before his father's feet. But Dawn could stop this nightmare, and the godly beings would help, for a small, yet eternal price. Dawn couldn't believe what he was seeing. It couldn't be real. But everything deep within his soul told him that not only was it real, but Dawn, and only Dawn, could prevent the damnation of the human race.
Oh, that's presumptuous.
When Dawn's soul returned to his body, he turned to his brother, Rabute Gilliman, and demanded that he would summon the brothers they could trust with such sensitive information. Gilliman was ordered to summon the Dauntless Few. Despite the edict passed at Nicaea, not all the legions disbanded their librarius. A few defied the Emperor in their own ways, most notably the Space Wolves, who claim that the power of their rune priests comes from the very homeworld of Fenris and not the Warp.
Which kind of, was already a thing before. And
the White Scars, who, due to their cultural ties to the homeworld of Jagoras and its people, kept their librarians, the Stormseers, in an active officer role. Jagatai Khan was not pleased by the Emperor's decree, but agreed to try and at least limit the active combat role of the Stormseers by utilizing their talents in a similar manner to their Legion's navigators and astropaths. While en route to Terra, Fulgrim visited Conrad Kurz in his cell. It was there that Kurz told his brother of the constant mental barrages he suffered of visions of the future, of how his soul was tortured by his own psychic ability, and how he felt his mind was slowly fracturing. Fulgrim took pity on his brother and agreed to be his brother's confidant. Fulgrim was told by Conrad that he did what he did, not through sickness of mind or finding a perverse pleasure in spreading fear, but that he did what he did for peace and justice. Ferris and the Iron Hand.
That's still scary to think about.
By the Warmaster Rogel Dawn to head to the Kutus system, leaving the Emperor's Children Legion alone to escort the Night Lord's Primarch back to Terra to stand trial. Ferris and Fulgrim would exchange their sorrowful farewells, and the two brothers vowed to meet again to fight alongside one another once more.
Oh no!
The regent of Terra, Malkanor, the Sigillite, had travelled to the world of the Wordbearer's latest compliance, Kerr, accompanied by the warriors of the Lunar Wolves Legion, a unit led by Captain Garvio Loken.
No, not my boy Loken.
The Wordbearers, Lorgar Aurelian, greeted the regent of Terra warmly, like a man greeting a beloved uncle, in the capital city of Monarchia. Malkanor spoke with a voice of sorrowful anger. The Emperor was unhappy with the slow speed of the Wordbearers bringing worlds to compliance.
Yeah.
Malkanor had come to personally
The Wordbearers did a really bad job at bringing things to compliance. Yeah, that's still pretty accurate. Sorry, Wordbearers and Lorgar fans. Yeah, no booping. That's not allowed.
Ascertain why. Lorgar explained that the reason his legion was taking such a long time was due to him personally making sure that freshly compliant worlds were stable and self-sustaining, fully functional and accepting of the Emperor's divinity before moving on to the next world. Malkador was disappointed. He once again repeated to the Primarch that the purpose of the Great Crusade was to bring the truth of knowledge and reason to humanity, in order to replace false gods with a new one. Lorgar argued that the Emperor, as an object of worship, would bring the people into line, a figurehead for humanity to gather around, to become stronger as a species, a society, and an imperium. Malgador shook his head sadly. He warned the Primarch to tear down the churches and cathedrals erected in the name of the Emperor, for he would oppose such actions.
Yeah, that's fair.
Lorgar pleaded, but Malgador was set fast.
Well, yeah.
He, however, agreed to not inform the Emperor of his son's actions.
I'm sorry, what? Those boys talk about everything. They talk about everything. How are you gonna manage that? What? Malgador not telling the Emperor? They're like best buds. What? Hang on, I'm gonna rearrange a few things here so I can... There we go. Yes, good. Okay. How are you gonna keep that from him? Your best friend. I wonder if they're gonna burn Monarchia still. I mean, it looks like he's getting a second chance, but like, it's not looking good. It's not looking good in the slightest. Yeah, this was the first alternate heresy. It's full of stretches. Really? Is this the first one? I didn't know that. What kind of fan fiction is this? This is one that was made by... Oh, it was made several years ago. By 40K Theories. Allegedly, it's like the first one. Well, they do mention the Dornian heresy in this right here, so I don't know if that means that one was already made, but I don't know. You know, you can only do so much. You can only add so much information. Like, you have to just kind of make your best guess sometimes with how the characters are going to behave. You can't always get it perfectly right, so can't say it's like because I don't know if I could make a better version right now. I don't know if I could. Anyways, we'll continue.
In return for the wordbearers returning to the Great Crusade with righteous fervour. As the Sigillite left the world, Lorgar put himself at the crossroads. He loved his father, worshipped him as a living god. His heart was torn, for his father would project being a subject of religious devotion. Despite deserving to be one, he ordered his legion to make preparations to leave for the next battle zone.
Okay.
But the churches of the Emperor would remain intact. This way, at least, the souls of the people and the worlds made compliant by the wordbearers would be safe from the horrors that haunt the darkness. For the Emperor protects. Within orbit of the world of Kutus Prime, the Imperial Fist's flagship, the Phalanx, floated in the void. Rogue Rudorn, the War Master, awaited with Rabute Gilliman.
Well, I guess in any case, I guess if you think of it this way, like, if you've ever heard of the term idiot plot, that's kind of how most, like, stories happen. Like, there's a miscommunication, someone does something dumb. Like, it's never, like... It's if people actually had common sense, it would make sense. So I'm willing to stretch this a little bit because it's just kind of like a theory, and you know what, I'm not expecting like the best writing from every single person that writes anything ever, but it's still like people aren't going to act how they should have acted, or even like how accurately like they should. Like, according to, like, the original universe, they still act really dumb. Because these characters were written by multiple people. So, I still think that, everyone's just gonna be dumb anyways, no matter what, it's still gonna be dumb.
Closest and most trustworthy of brothers, the dauntless few. The Wolf King, Leman Russ, Primarch of the Space Wolves, was the first to arrive.
Okay.
Followed by the Lord of the Blood Angels, Sanguinius.
Oh, my boy.
And finally, they were joined by the Lord of Iron, Ferrus Manus of the Iron Hands.
Oh, he's gonna kill Fulgrim, isn't he?
Rogaldor began to explain what he had learned from Gilliman every last detail. The Primarchs were shocked, appalled, disgusted. Russ boiled with deep anger and blood-red fury. Ferrus Manus felt a deep sorrow gnawing at his very soul.
Ooh.
Sanguinius, however, seemed unfazed, too busy focusing on his own preternatural beauty.
No! 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 He's like, I don't care. I'm just pretty. Oh. Oh no, I don't like this. This is horrible. Oh gosh.
Gilliman smiled to himself, recognizing the cuneiform script that adorned the angel's new accessories as being identical to the runes from the Black Oculus.
No!
Leman Russ, in his rage, demanded proof for such accusations, or that he would tear the War Master's head from his very shoulders with his bare hands.
Oh dang! Oh dang! Get him! Get him!
Gilliman would offer it to him in
Here.
time.
Hey, brother. Touch this rock. Touch this rock and you'll see things. You'll see things, brother. You'll see things, brother. You imagine him with a small mirror. Oh gosh, there's like a movie where it feels like there's a character that like carries around like a looking glass and like is always looking at himself. Gilderoy Lockhart vibes. He's too busy preening his feathers. Oh, that's bad. Thanks very much for that. Thank you.
Ferrus Manus then raised an important issue. There would be those within their legions who may not follow their orders should they decide to rebel against their father.
Oh no.
Not to mention the brothers who would turn against them. If they committed to this action, it would lead to the biggest and bloodiest war in humanity's
Please,
history.
no.
Rogel Dawn simply stated thus: were not the lives of the Emperor's own sons worth anything? Did they not deserve a life after the Long Crusade? Or were they to be discarded? If their father was removed from power, then they could rule the Imperium, guiding humanity to a better future. A ruling council made up from the Primarchs, with Rogel Dawn at their head, watching over and protecting their fragile human
A ruling
subjects,
council. That's interesting.
instead of the so-called God Emperor, devouring their very essence to become all-powerful. Rogel Dawn stated that this rebellion, no, revolution, was for the greater good.
Oh. Look at you Tau. You Tau. What the heck?
Reluctantly, the dauntless few agreed. Gilliman would show them the Black Oculus, which in turn would give them their own visions. Plans would soon be made to remove those from their legions who could prove troublesome, potential defectors to their father's side. Rogel Dawn had an answer. A system that had proved troublesome and aggressive to a warlike degree, in keeping its own sovereignty and independence from the Imperium.
Oh no.
The Istvan system.
They're gonna do it again.
Meanwhile, on the worlds of Prospero and
Ding
Jagoras,
it.
the Primarchs, Magnus the Red, and Jagatai Khan felt that something was terribly, terribly wrong.
Dun dun
Upon
dun.
the world of Aelith, a cabal of various Xenos species hatched a plan. They dispatched one of their agents, a human perpetual named John Grammaticus, to track down the enigmatic Primarch, Alpharis Omegon of the Alpha Legion.
Oh, this is interesting.
His mission was to bring the Primarch to Aelith, so that they could enlist his aid to help.
Good luck to Grammaticus, because that's like an impossible task. Like, you're gonna track down Alpharius when his whole legion goes by Alpharius? Like, sorry. Good luck with that. Like, that's like the most impossible task you could ever give anyone. Let the worlds fortify. That's funny. I like that. We're gonna pin that. Thank you for that. That's good. There we go. Very nice. Thank you very much.
With events that would affect every single sentient species within the galaxy. John Grammaticus tracked down the Alpha Legion to the world of...
This is too easy for Grammaticus. If Alpharius didn't want to be found, he wouldn't be found.
Earth, and through subtlety and deception, found his way to the Primarch to seek his audience.
No, you need like a whole freaking 50 books to get to Alpharius. This is the biggest stretch, I think. It is a touch ambitious, like just, yes, and he finds Alpharius. I'm like, okay, I guess. It's fiction, it's fiction, it's fiction. It's fine.
Alpharius, John Grammaticus said, was the only being who could prevent the destruction of the entire galaxy. Alpharius, either out of trust or curiosity, agreed to travel to Aelith with his legion once Earth was made compliant. The dauntless few made preparations to purge the potential loyalists from their legions. They would send those men to the surface of Istvan III. Then, the world would be virus-bombed, making all life upon the planet extinct.
Yeah.
The only potential loyalist who would not be dispatched to the world would be the Ultramarine Sergeant Aeonid Thiel, who, along with his squad, known for insubordination, was under the direct command of Varus Caspian on the frigate Ve Victus.
Ooh.
Gilliman had a soft spot for Thiel, and hoped to be able to sway the sergeant to his side, one way or another.
Ooh.
If not, Caspian had orders to terminate him and his men. Rogel Dawn meditated within his chambers. The shard of the Oculus, it transpired, had allowed Dawn to converse with the godly beings within the warp. The gods praised Dawn for the first steps he would take.
This is not good.
They showed him visions of the war to come, of fire, blood, screaming, and dying. Rogel Dawn would not win this war with the legions he had at his disposal alone. He would need to grow his forces. He would need to bring more of his brothers into the fold. As his soul floated within the ether, the godly beings faded from his view, and a bright light glowed from the corner of his eye,
Jesus?
banishing the darkness and almost blinding the War Master.
I'm sorry, that was
As
dumb.
Rogel Dawn turned to face it, he saw an apparition,
Jesus.
a figure of pure white light, a spectral horse made from lightning.
Okay, not
The
Jesus.
horse galloped toward him, and, with the sound of a thunderclap, shifted its form into one that Dawn knew. Jagatai Khan.
Oh.
Khan demanded answers from his brother,
Oh, what the heck?
why he would betray his father.
Can he
and his
just do
people.
that?
Rogel Dawn explained what he had learned, but Jagatai Khan refused to believe him. Khan warned Dawn that his actions would damn the souls of not only him, but also his brothers.
So, Jagatai is Magnus now. Interesting.
And the very men who would follow him. The godly beings began to coalesce again, and the bright light began to slowly flicker and die. Jagatai Khan begged his brother to listen to him. Do not go through with this. Do not betray your father, your family. And finally, the light that was Khan's astral projection was snuffed out. On Dragoris, Jagatai Khan
Oh, he
awoke from his
became one with the
trance,
Speed Force, that's
surrounded by
funny.
his Stormseers. He demanded for the astropaths to send warning to Terra immediately.
Dang it!
but
Dang
they did
it!
not. Warp storms had erupted throughout the Imperium. Astropathic messages will be next to impossible to send or receive. The Khan clenched his fists and in his frustration put his hand for a war.
Whoa.
There was only one chance he had left to warn his father in time. He demanded all of the Stormseers gather and prepare for the inevitable.
Oh boy. Oh boy,
The
oh boy.
bombardment of Istvan III begins. Thousands upon thousands of warheads containing the Life Eater virus detonate all over the planet. The virus penetrates the power armor of the Astartes on the world. And soon,
Yikes.
all biological matter on the world, the people, animals, and plants, are turned into puddles of decaying sludge, releasing copious amounts of flammable gas. The Phalanx, flagship of the Imperial Fists, fires a single lance shot into the atmosphere, igniting a tremendous firestorm that would sweep and sterilize the world within a matter of minutes. Upon the frigate, the Victus, Aeonid Thiel of the Ultramarines watched in horror.
He's like, oh, better get out of here,
This
bro.
was wrong. Their brothers were on that world.
Yeah.
Thiel and his men staged a mutiny upon the vessel, resulting in a savage gun battle upon it between his forces and the traitorous forces under the command of Varus Caspian. Through a stroke of luck, an explosion breached the hull of the ship, the resulting vacuum dragging many of the traitorous marines out into the icy void. Thiel and his men quickly capitalized on the situation and took control of the Victus, making a daring escape. The traitorous ships nearby attempted to stop the Victus from escaping, but failed, as the ship made an uncontrolled warp jump into the unknown. Gilliman raged upon finding out. Their plans were about to be scuppered.
Yep.
Rogel Dawn contacted Gilliman
Get wrecked.
and informed him that they had a larger problem to deal with. Jagatai Khan,
Take care of
with
it.
the psychic powers of his legion's Stormseers, had discovered the plans of the Dauntless Few. Luckily for them at least, the amount of warp storms had made astropathic messages next to impossible to send. But if the Khan knew, then the most powerful psychic amongst the legions, Magnus the Red, would surely know as well.
Oof.
Rogel Dawn ordered Leman Russ and the Space Wars Legion to make their way to Prospero, and either bring Magnus into the fold, or destroy him and remove a
Oh.
potential threat.
Oh, are they gonna get him?
The War Master
Gank him.
ordered Gilliman to send emissaries to more of their brothers. They needed more allies if they were to win this war.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
Rogel Dawn and Ferrus Manus would land their forces and construct a base of operations.
So
to
see,
prepare.
the only we have Gilliman, we have Dorn, we have Sanguinius, Ferrus Manus, Leman Russ. That's 5. So the last ones that they need are Vulcan, Corax, and why am I blanking? Oh, the Lion. Those are the last 3 that they need to get for it to be complete. Assuming it's just regular like just a regular reversal. I wonder if anyone's done a heresy where they choose a Primarch and then they consider the actions of each of the other Primarchs like individually, regardless of whether or not they turned out to be a traitor or a loyalist in the original version, because that would be interesting to me. Is this 40K's theory's alternate timeline where the traitors were loyal and the loyalists were traitors? Yes, this is that. But I wonder, and I don't know enough of the alternate lores for me to be like, oh, is there one where they actually consider each one regardless of their status previously? Because I think that would be good. Oh, quite a few. Okay, cool. I figured that as much, that there was something similar to that, but I wasn't sure. Most writers just don't have that talent. Yeah, it is quite a large thing to go through, and you also have to consider the individual actions, because like if Fulgrim hadn't had the layer blade, there's a good chance he might not have fallen to chaos. Like it's all like the individual like experiences of each character, and there's like 18 of them. That's a lot. So you can only do so much. You have to be like really, really, really into it. So, yeah. If Peter just was given a hug, he probably wouldn't have fallen. Yeah, someone needed to tell him that he didn't want pickles on his burger. Anyways, that's I was just wondering, because I'd love to like read those or look at those. Those would be kind of fun to explore.
For a potential upcoming conflict upon the world of Istvan V. Upon Prospero's surface, Magnus roared in fury.
Oh,
His sensitive mind could feel
is he gonna break Lehman's back? I think that would be awesome. Just that's what it sounds like when you break someone's back. I was actually like thinking about when Magnus pulled out Lehman's heart, and well, that's what I was like making the noise for. Anyways.
The disturbances upon the skin of the wall. But thanks to the custodies who were to accompany him at all times to reinforce his father's edict, he was nearly powerless to act.
Oof.
He knew a storm was coming, and ordered his second-in-command, the former chief librarian, Azek Araman, to evacuate the civilian populace off-world.
Good idea.
Prospero Spireguard reinforce the defences around Tiska. Magnus demanded to the custodies to allow him to clarify the disturbances he felt, but was denied time.
Yeah, that makes sense. Sorry, chat. I accidentally bumped my keyboard. We're at like 30-something. Sorry, chat.
But to do that, they would need pure human tissue. Stormseers augmenting his own preternatural abilities. He could not breach this wall. A voice in his mind offered to grant him a way, but thanks to the custodies who were to accompany him at all times to reinforce his father's edict. Sorry about that, chat. Powerless to act. He knew a storm was coming, and ordered his second-in-command, the former chief librarian, Azek Araman, to evacuate the civilian populace off-world, and have Prospero Spireguard reinforce the defences around Tiska. Magnus demanded to the custodies to allow him to clarify the disturbances he felt, but was denied time and time again.
This is fan fiction. I wasn't there. I don't even exist in this fan fiction. If Magnus didn't mess up, I think the emperors would have clapped most of the other traitors. Yeah, it's pretty likely. Yeah.
On Jagoras, the Stormseers gathered. Hundreds of powerful psychers gathered for this one single purpose. They would allow Jagatai Khan to create an astral projection, and thus allow their Primarch to ride the currents of the Empyrean.
Yes, this is why everything happened. I wasn't there to stop it. That's exactly, you're right. 100%. 100%. I only exist in one timeline. No, that's not true. That's not true. I know I exist in other timelines. I just am not in that particular one. Yeah, I know I exist in other timelines. Guaranteed.
To warn the Emperor directly. As his soul rushed through time and space, he found his path blocked. He raged as he tried to breach the psychic barrier, but he could not. Even with all the powers of his Legion Stormseers augmenting his own preternatural abilities, he could not breach this wall. A voice in his mind offered to grant him a way to break through the barrier.
Dun dun dun!
And without hesitation, Khan agreed. Not knowing.
Without hesitation, you're not like thinking a little bit like, what is this weird voice that's like, oh yes, let me help you with that. Like, I'm sorry. If I'm trying to like let's think about it this way. Let's say I'm trying to like break into like my dad's house and I'm trying to get over this back wall. And while I'm trying to climb over this back wall in the middle of the night, this guy comes up to me and say, "Hey, do you want help with that?" I'd be like, "No." Like, what? Yes. Oh, yes, sure. Like, of course. Like, huh? The voice is in my head. It must be mine. Yes, for sure. Yeah, I'm sure it was the ends justify the means, but like, yeah. I would not trust the man that's like, "Here, let me help you break into your father's house," places a melt-a-charge on the wall. Like, I'd be a bit concerned. I'd be like, why do you have a melt-a-charge so ready to place on this wall? Yeah, and then he gives you a sledgehammer to bust the fence. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. It's so dumb.
the future ramifications of his actions. It's true what they say. The path to ruin and damnation is paved with the best of intentions. Upon the Blood Angel's flagship, the Red Tear, Sanguinius spent more and more time indulging in ever more increasingly hedonistic practices, eating indulging of fine food, pungent perfume, or other sensory stimuli. The practices began to spread amongst the rest of the Blood Angel's legion.
Oh no.
Slowly, but immeasurably. A creeping corruption, slowly changing their outlooks, beliefs, and urges. The angels started to crave more and more extreme sensations. The once beautiful corridors of the ship slowly degraded as the Legion serfs were forced to decorate the ship's interior with increasingly bright and garish colours and patterns, an affront to anyone with the gift of sight, let alone a sense of taste. The Legion serfs would notice that when Sanguinius was alone, he would often talk to himself before bursting into fits of sadistic laughter.
Oh gosh.
The voices that emerged from his lips were not only his.
Ew, that's disgusting! No! Bleh! They still appear on my screen, dang it! Ew! That's disgusting! Bleh! Oh, gross! Gross! Why'd you have to say that? Ew! Oh, this is making me very sad. Like, I was like, oh, Corn. Okay, Nurgle. I mean, I don't like Nurgle. But, like, Corn is like, yeah, it's acceptable. It's fine. Oh, my gosh. Oh.
He had the voice of a seductive woman, and the deep barren.
I'm sorry, what?
The voices that emerged from his lips were not only his, but the voices that emerged from his lips that when Sanguinius was alone,
Okay, there we go.
he would often talk to himself before bursting into fits of sadistic laughter. The voices that emerged from his lips were not only his, but seemingly he had the voice of a seductive woman, and the deep baritone of something else.
Oh.
Something darker altogether. Those mortals who dared look upon the once beautiful face of the Lord of Angels would begin to cower in fear. His eyes.
He's lost his mind.
Eyes anymore. What once shined an icy blue, like the purest and most perfect sapphires ever carved by an expert jeweler, had become a deep violet that seemingly swirled.
No! No! My husband has lost his mind. Yes. Although I feel like that line is something I would have said, like, his eyes weren't his eyes anymore. Like his eyes weren't his anymore. Rip.
With other shifting colours. Sanguinius sat upon his throne in his chamber, and began to think to himself about what other greater pleasures could he and his sons sample. Food and wine were fine enough for mortal men, but for Astartes, they required more. Much, much more. He ordered his legion apothecaries to concoct stimulants and narcotics for the legionnaires, based upon the formulas that were used by the Xenos his legion had recently purged.
Don't do drugs, kids.
But to do that, they would need pure human tissue.
Oh.
And with that, Sanguinius had every legion serf and remembrancer who was deemed as non-vital crew rounded up and slaughtered like lions.
Oh, that's that is messed. Oh my gosh, that is so messed up. You're not okay with him falling to Slanesh because he might become more beautiful? No, he's already more beautiful than me. Like, come on, he already looks so much better than me. I'm not jealous of that. He just is. He just is. Bruh. Will the armor color go from like pale pink? Maybe? I don't know. But oh, I hate this. I hate this so much. This is my least favorite. This is my least favorite chat. Bro. Dumb. Anyways. I'll just block off chat for 2 seconds. Bro, this is making me very sad. It's making me very sad, chat. I gotta compose myself before I could go back to reacting to this. Yeah, I'm gonna block you if you say something dumb, yeah. You can't stop me. There you go. Okay, we're gonna finish.
Livestock. Sanguinius would smile as he ordered the Legion's tech marines to make modifications to their power armor.
Ooh.
To pump and recycle this substance on a continuous basis, making every Astartes within the Legion a slave to self-indulgence. Upon the world of Aelith, the Primarchs of the Alpha Legion, Alfarius and his twin, Omegon, met with the alien Cabal. The Cabal explained to them that their brothers had rebelled.
This is bad.
And fallen under the sway of the Chaos Gods, and that 2 possible outcomes would emerge from the conflict. If the Emperor's forces won, then Chaos would be pushed back, but eventually return, stronger than before corrupting, enslaving, and wiping out all life in the galaxy after 10,000 years of human suffering.
That's a lot of suffering.
But if Rogel Dawn and his forces won, Chaos would be triumphant for a time, but eventually, the human species will be forced into a rapid spiral of self-conflict and extinction so great that the Chaos Gods would never recover. So while damning humanity, all other races will be spared. Alfarius and Omegon's actions would affect the galaxy. The Xenos pleaded with the Primarchs to side with Rogel Dawn. Alfarius clenched his fists and turned to his twin before calmly stating that he was loyal to his father, his emperor, and would not fall for a pathetic Xenos trick. He ordered his troops to open fire. The heavy rattle of gunfire and explosions of bolt rounds lasted but a few minutes, but long enough to ensure that all but the human perpetuals lay dead or dying upon the stony ground.
Oof.
They apprehended the perpetuals, and Alfarius gathered his troops and ordered them to join up with the loyalists for the Emperor. As the Vei Victus travelled through the warp, Eunid Thiel ordered the ship's navigators to try and bring them back to the Sol system. They needed to inform the Emperor of the treachery of his sons at any cost. They travelled for what could have been days, weeks, maybe even years.
That's so nice. That's so nice. Finally, a nice comment in my chat. Slanesh, I will make you perfect and give you anything. Sanguinius, I already am perfect and all I need is my wife Aurelia. She stands by my side. Yes. Although I don't think Sanguinius would say he's perfect. I think he would say he's very flawed. I think he'd say that. Oh, that's what that was. Hang on. Yeah. So, but yes, that was a very nice comment. Thank you very much. Sorry, chat. Just doing a quick stretch. You should stretch, chat. Just stretch, because it's almost been 2 hours. It's almost been 2 hours. You stretch. Hey, take your steps. You could shove your step stool comment. Get that out of here. Oh. That's really good. I already have perfection. Her name is Aurelia. Oh, dang. Oh, dang. That's kind of nice. Dang, that's kind of nice. 2 hours and no one's even died yet. What kind of heresy is this? We have to kind of lay the groundwork for who was doing what and like how some people fall to chaos. Anyways, seaweed, we're getting some good stuff for the chat. Good stuff for the chat, not the cursed things. Yeah, well, a bunch of people just died, but no Primarchs are dead yet. Anyways.
It's hard to tell given the instabilities of warp travel, thanks to the warp storms making the ethereal currents treacherous. Soon, they found that their ship's killer field was failing, and were forced to re-emerge into real space, low on fuel, supplies, and morale. Aeonid Thiel thought he and his men would die stranded in some uncharted wilderness of the deep void. A proximity alarm began to ring throughout the ship, as a large vessel was fast approaching them. Their scanners were broken, damaged from the unstable journey through warp space, and the Loyalists were unaware if this new ship was friend or foe. An energy surge began to grow in size upon the bridge of the Ve Victus, and Aeonid Thiel and his men hurriedly readied their weapons. Whoever this ship belonged to, they were teleporting aboard. A blinding flash of green light and arcing lightning
Avada Kedavra!
8 towering figures in heavy bone and green-coloured Tartarus pattern Terminator armour.
Oh.
The Terminators raised their weaponry in
That's
response
not
to the
good.
Ultramarines, who held their bolters ready. A single figure emerged from amongst the Terminators, towering over all of them, carrying a massive scythe in his hand.
Mortarion.
The Death Lord, Mortarion, Primarch of the Death Guard. Mortarion asked who was in charge of this damaged vessel, and offered to escort them back to the nearest naval base to refuel and resupply.
Nice, nice, nice.
Theo stated that he needed to make way for Terra, for he had dire news of the utmost urgency for the Emperor. When Mortarion asked why he couldn't tell his Primarch of this dread news, Theo requested to speak to Mortarion in private
Oh,
about
yeah.
his flagship, the Endurance.
He's gonna get smacked.
Mortarion laughed upon hearing the news Theo brought,
Yeah.
assuming it was some kind of joke. When Theo assured him it was all true, Mortarion's mood soured. The Ultramarine was surely lying. Upon looking at the service record of Aeonid Thiel, he noticed the sergeant's long and colourful history of insubordination. Mortarion demanded why he shouldn't simply execute him for treachery and desertion of his legion right there and then. A voice came from behind Mortarion stating simply, because the Ultramarine was telling the truth. As the Lord of the Death Guard turned around, he was surprised to see his brother, the Primarch Alfarius Omegon.
Alfarius is just like, hey, brother. He just shows up. He just shows up. If you join me, I'll give you pocket-sized Aurelia to always be with you. Sanguinius, but it's just normal-sized Aurelia. That's mean. That's very rude of you. He was in the vents. He vented. He's actually kind of sus. I also looked for Slanesh Sanguinius on the internet to use for the thumbnail. I looked for like a good art of like Slanesh or like Chaos Sanguinius. So I wanted to use something like that really badly, but I had to settle for Fulgrim for the thumbnail. I was disappointed. Yes. Hello, brother.
Alfarius confirmed to Mortarion that Aeonid Thiel was telling the truth, and that they needed to inform their father, the Emperor of mankind. As Jagatai Khan's astral projection breached the psychic barrier, he found himself before his father, seeing his soul as a blinding golden light.
Yeah, he is pissed.
He found himself unable to speak, but the Emperor saw his son's image and became angry. Jagatai Khan had inadvertently destroyed an important artifact, one important in the future of the Imperium and of Terra itself. As Jagatai Khan found his soul banished back to his body, awakening from his trance, the Emperor shook his head sadly. His son had defied his edict, and thus needed to be punished. He ordered his Praetorian, Horus Lupercal, and the Lunar Wolves to travel to Jagoras.
I mean, I guess it makes sense that instead he made Horus Praetorian, like, for the switcheroo, but, like, Horus as a Praetorian isn't a good choice. He's, like, cut the head off the snake type general. I think, who would I have picked of the traitors to be the defender of Terra? I mean, Peter Turbo's got, like, siege stuff, but he's not, like, the worst idea for Praetorian. Who else is good? Yeah, I would probably go with Peter Turbo, honestly. Alfaris isn't great. Yeah, I would just go with Peter Turbo. I don't know why you would choose Horus as that option. He's, cut the head off the snake. This is the Theoreticus heresy, so it's not Dornian, but Dorn is the War Master in their version. Kurz for Praetorian, I mean, he would commit a lot less, like, war crimes if he was Praetorian. That is true. That's very, very true. Yeah, I would say Peter Turbo. Mortarion kind of wasn't a fan of his dad, so I don't think, I mean, how many of them really were? I don't think Mortarion would have been the best choice.
And arrest Jagatai Khan. Within the Prospero system, the Space Wolves Legion prepared for battle. While the Rogel Dawn wished to bring Magnus into the fold, Leman Russ despised the Primarch of the Thousand Suns.
Yeah.
He viewed his legion as weak, cowardly, and unworthy to be called warriors. The Space Wolf Armada began to systematize.
Let's alienate the greatest psyker amongst the Primarchs just because you don't like their methods of war. Great idea.
Destroy the orbital defense platforms orbiting the world of Prospero, sending burning wreckage to drift lifelessly in the icy void of space. Prospero would not survive this day, and Leman Russ smiled at the prospect of not only humiliating, but destroying his sorceress brother. On Prospero's surface, alarms were soon raised. The planet was under attack. Magnus the Red ordered for his legion to prepare for battle, and to ready the various sorceress cults to utilize them in the upcoming conflict. Despite the custodians on the world ordering Magnus that he was forbidden to do so, Magnus responded by saying that if they were to survive this battle, he would accept any form of punishment his father would sentence him. The skies would rain fire as hundreds upon hundreds of drop pods and Thunderhawk gunships began to descend from orbit.
Ooh.
Planetary defense lasers fired repeatedly, filling the burning sky with flashes of blue light. And while destroying many, there were simply far too many to stop them all.
Oh, hang on, sorry. I saw a chat. I like this concept. Fulgrim being Praetorian because the Emperor's children got their name for defending the Emperor from death. Yeah, no, that is a good point. I didn't think about that, because they don't really have, like, they like their duels and they like their swordplay, but, like, I don't feel like you know too much about, like, how they generally like to do things other than, like, they want to do it perfectly. So, honestly, I like that idea for Fulgrim. I think Perturabo is better, but Fulgrim isn't, like, a bad choice. Not bad. That's a good point. Thank you for bringing that up.
With thunderous impacts, the drop pods crashed into the planet, and the frenzied warriors of the Space Wolves Legion emerged, charging towards their cousins like frothing berserkers of legend. The thousand sons of the Pyre and Pavoni cults began to open fire with jets of psychic fire and crackling arcs of warp lightning, while the members of the Raptora launched bombardments of large boulders and heavy debris in a desperate attempt to hold back the grey tide of savagery. Devastator Marines and the artillery of the planet's Spire Guard fired continuously, to the point of their weapons glowing red hot and overheating. Leman Russ led his men from the front lines, butchering the mortal Spire Guard soldiers and the Thousand Sun's own assault troops with relative ease. But he began to rage. His men were unable to reach the cowardly sorcerers. As Russ continued to kill and cleave and carve his way through the ranks of the Loyalists, the sky itself began to turn blood red, and a fine mist began to creep along the cracked ground. Magnus the Red himself joined the battle, surrounded by his Terminator-clad bodyguards of the
You're gonna get messed up. Magnus is in the fight.
Close behind.
But
The Wolf King howled in bloody fury, swearing he would personally take his brother's...
But it's still Leman Russ and Magnus. Technically, Leman Russ won the last one, like the original one, so I don't know if that would be the same. I wonder if this is gonna be a situation where, like, Ferrus Manus and Fulgrim fight again. I think they will, and Ferrus Manus will probably win and kill Fulgrim. So I wonder what they'll do here, if they'll straight up kill Magnus.
Head and presented to the War Master. Magnus the Red conjured up a massive storm of ethereal lightning across the battlefield, managing to keep the wolves at bay for a time. Leman Russ himself tried to push forward, feeling the lightning...
You missed it earlier. I did mention that he took out one of Leman's hearts, so I do know that. I remember that.
Burning his flesh and armor and howling in rage at Magnus's cowardice. He then felt a voice speak to him in his mind, offering him the power to slay the sorcerer.
Oh.
In return.
Oh, Khorne. Yeah, okay,
And
Khorne would make sense.
The pact was made. Leman Russ howled in torturous pain, a howl so blood-curdling that it was a sound no living being could ever make. He felt his bones lengthen and stretch,
Oof.
his armor buckle and split, and
Eve.
his skull shifted and elongated as the Primarch grew in size.
Oh, that's bad.
A
That's
huge
bad.
pair of leathery wings emerged from his spine, covered in the tattered remains of human flesh.
Eh.
The Space Wolves closest to him also began to change, their bodies shifting and mutating into roaring, feral, bestial
Don't listen to
creatures.
the voices, chat.
The creature that was Leman Russ flexed his newly acquired wings, raised his lupine head to the sky, and roared.
Rawr.
The battle for Prospero raged. Leman Russ had been blessed by the Blood God, and had ascended to a demon prince, the Red Wolf of Khorne. The beast gripped in its taloned hands perverted versions of his former weapons, a massive axe and long serrated sword, both made from blackened iron and wreathed in warp fire the colour of blood. Russ rushed towards his former brother, Magnus the Red, hacking at him with his demonic blades, the unholy weaponry clashing against Magnus's own Khopesh blade, sending vast amounts of sparks from the metal like petals of light. Magnus tried to bring his immense psychic might to bear against the beast that used to be Leman Russ, but his powers had no effect. The thick brass collar around the demon's neck
Sorry,
nullified
Magnus.
all psychic energy around him. Magnus, with his mind's eye, saw this, and with a surge of adrenaline, pushed the creature back before lunging forward, clasping his hands around the collar. His hands were punctured by the thick metal spikes protruding from it, blood flowing like a river from his hands. But using his preternatural strength, ripped the collar from Russ's neck, shattering the metal, and blasted him back with immense psychic force. Magnus fell to one knee as Leman Russ staggered back to his feet, and with the feral wolf and creatures bounding towards him. Magnus had only one thing left to do. Using the last of his great psychic might, he teleported most of his forces onto a lone battle barge that survived the void battle with the Space Wolves fleet.
Oh, that's convenient.
The Primarch alone, with the Custodes, against the entire Space Wolves Legion, who were baying for blood.
R.I.P. the Custodes? Oh gosh, that's horrible.
He gripped his Khopesh tightly. He turned to the golden-clad warriors beside him, and let out a single loud cry before charging towards the beast that was no longer his brother. For the Emperor. The Phalanx received a transmission from the Space Wolves Legion. It was a short transmission, displaying the severed heads of Magnus the Red and the Custodes who had died alongside him in battle. Leman Russ then appeared on the screen,
Oof.
displaying his new demonic wolf-like form, smiling with a predator's grin. Rogel Dawn nodded and smiled, recognizing the form Russ now took as similar to one of the godly beings from the warp. Magnus was one of the most dangerous wildcards in this upcoming conflict, and with his removal, the War Master believed he and his forces now held the advantage. He received another transmission from his brother, Rabute Gilliman. The Lord of Ultramar smiled and nodded. Everything was going to plan, and more of their brothers had seen the light of their cause. Rogel Dawn nodded and told his brother to prepare them for war. The Emperor, saddened by the damage suffered to the webway and to the Golden Throne, knew that a powerful Psyker must now sit upon it.
Oh, and you
use
don't
their
have
abilities
Magnus anymore,
to
dang.
prevent warp tear
That is
or engulf the
unfortunate.
ball of terror. He tried to send a psychic probe to his son, Magnus the Red, but then, for the first time in hundreds of years, felt fear. He could no longer feel his son's presence. His once burning light snuffed out like a dying candle. The Emperor knew something was afoot.
Oh
And
no!
ordered the recall of the Iron Warriors Legion to Terra.
Oh no!
The world needed to be reinforced for the upcoming conflict. Little did he know how soon said conflict would come. The Lunar Wolves fleet made haste for Chagoris, the homeworld of the White Scars Legion. Horus sent transmission after transmission, begging his shadowy brother to not resist and to avoid pointless bloodshed. Jagatai Khan protested that by coming all this way to arrest him, they were wasting valuable time.
Yeah, that is true.
Rogel Dawn and the others had betrayed them, and would soon move against Terra itself.
Is Jagatai gonna
Horus
get his
pleaded with
back
Jagatai
broken?
Khan once more to stand down and be arrested for his treachery in defying their father's edict. Jagatai Khan grew angry at the accusations, and having his warnings go unheeded, screaming that he was no traitor. But if Horus was looking for a battle, then Jagatai Khan and the White Scars would give him one. With great regret,
Yikes.
Horus ordered the fleet to commence planetary assault, and to capture
Not
the White
recommended,
Scars'
chat.
armor
Don't do that.
by force. Perturabo was surprised by his legion's sudden recall to Terra. As he made his way to the Imperial Palace, he was greeted by the regents of Terra, Malkador the Sigillite, and Constantine Valdor, the Captain General of the Legio Custodes. Malkador briefed Perturabo on the situation at hand. The Emperor foresaw a great apocalyptic battle that would in time reach the cradle of humanity, Holy Terra itself. Perturabo and his legion were tasked to reinforce the defense of Terra, and in turn, the Imperial Palace. Perturabo would erect numerous weapons platforms upon both the planet's surface and within its orbit,
Okay.
and would begin adding numerous layers and layers of adamantium and rockcrete armor plating to the walls of the palace.
Oh
despoiling
boy,
the
oh
beautiful
boy.
architecture of its gold and ivory walls to a mishmash of
Horus's
practical,
charisma
dark
not
metal.
working is very unrealistic. Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that. It's not realistic in the slightest. I can agree with you on that one. That it's okay. It's fiction. I think I'm gonna bump it up a little bit faster. But I agree, it doesn't seem super realistic. Horus being like trying to explain it, but I guess if we're going on the tactic where he's just doing his job is like, I'm just gonna go take care of you right now. But I don't know. Yeah, I didn't see, there is no it's not Erebus, it's a different guy. We haven't heard anything about Erebus. They haven't brought up Lorgar yet.
Adorned with spines and gun batteries. Malkador was saddened to see the beauty of the palace become tarnished so, but
Yeah.
was practical enough a man to understand its necessity. The Iron Warriors would also begin to carve miles upon miles of trenches in all directions around the palace, setting up vast killing fields that hopefully, to Malkador, would never need to be used. A short time after,
Yikes,
the
yikes.
Death Guard flagship, the Endurance, arrived in orbit of Holy Terra. As the ship was sent transmission directly from the Imperial Palace, from none other than Malkador himself, Alpharis Omegon and Eunid Theo relayed the truth that they had discovered. Alpharis was ordered to gather his legion and head to the Istvan system, in order to suppress this insurrection at the hands of Rogel Dawn. To this end, he would receive aid from the full force of the Emperor's children.
Okay, so someone asked the question, if Sanguinius turned traitor, would you follow him or stand against him? It depends on the context. It really depends on the context. If we want to talk about this one, I have very strong opinions and a very powerful feelings regarding Slaanesh. So I would probably go against him at that point, but there's a good chance he'd probably kill me first. That he'd be a hard boy to fight. I think he'd get me first, which would be unfortunate. But I don't think I'd make it. I don't think I'd make it, chat. It wouldn't turn out very well for me. But yeah, for this one, I would go against him. It would need to be a good reason why, yes. I would need to know other reasons. If it was Khorne, you'd be fine with it. It's like I said, it's the context. Like, it's hard to say because I can't be like, oh yes, with like Khorne, he's perfectly fine. I would definitely like side with him. But if it was Nurgle, Slaanesh, or Tzeentch, like it's like I can't say that. If Sanguinius was a food, would you eat him? Like, what kind of question is that? What does that mean? Like, is he sentient? Or what does that mean? What? Yeah, I am Ferris in this situation. Yeah, that it would not be good. I'd be like, yo, babe, you shouldn't do that. And he'd be like, I don't care. And, like, I'm sure I will sacrifice your soul to Slaanesh, and Slaanesh will find you very tasty. And I'm like, oh, that sounds horrible. Count me out. And he said, yeah, I don't care. And, it wouldn't be good. So, what if he wasn't stopping from walking into the Khornite Cauldron? Would you love him if he was a worm? Yes. What I've walked into... Well, here's the thing. I'm not as entangled with all of the stuff going on in the Imperium. Sorry, I keep bumping my mic. Maybe because he would have done it to save his sons, and it looked like it was just going to be him. That's all they wanted to make. I get the feeling he wouldn't let me in that situation. If we're talking about regular heresy, I don't. If he was planning to walk into the cauldron and he wasn't stopped, even if I had said like, oh yes, I would walk into it with him, I don't think he'd let me. Because he was going to do it to save his sons. And I probably, like, in that case, it might have been like, oh, well, I won't let you do this alone. And then he'd be like, I'm not going to let you. And then he'd probably chuck me across a room out of love and then walk in himself. That's my best guess, given, like, what I know about the situation. That's the best guess. Are we on Aurelia Heresy right now? Yes, we're gonna do alternate Aurelia Heresy. I'm sure things will turn out just fine. Would you still love me if I was Mountain Dew? Absolutely. I would still love him if he was a Mountain Dew. I'd maybe love him even more. Stream idea? Yeah, it sounds like a fun stream idea. I can't come up with all the content. So I guess if people pitched ideas like, okay, what if, and you gave me like a little scenario, then I could say, okay, yes, I would fall, or no, I wouldn't, based on these factors. Possibly. Okay, we could do that. That sounds like a good stream. Which Chaos God would I fall to? If I had to fall to a specific one, it'd probably be Khorne, but Chaos United wouldn't wouldn't look too bad, I wouldn't lie. I'd look cool. So, Chaos, Undivided, Sanguinius? Yeah, it's all like the reasoning. It's all about the reasoning. Whichever Chaos God is the shortest. Wow. Okay then. Okay, I see how it is. I see how it is. Gosh. Ooh, yeah, then, yeah, you're right. Sanguinius will become the Red Angel. I could see Raldoron, the first captain of the Blood Angels, do something like Typhus did and disguise the Blood Angels' diseases as a cure. Ooh, that would suck. Ready to follow me and Lorgar into chaos? No, this is just theoretical scenarios. You'd actually have to follow through with the temptations in order for me to actually fall, and it'd have to be legitimately good. And it's good because then I recognize where my failings are. I recognize them, so it makes it harder for you to corrupt me. Corn has short guy energy. What? You do realize Corn would hate Sanguinius because he's a psyker, right? Well, but I don't think that would stop him. Okay, think about it this way. In the original Heresy, they wanted Sanguinius to fall to Corn. Like, they had a whole plan set up. He didn't care because he knew that Sanguinius's, like, the Black Rage was great enough to just spill all the blood that Corn wanted for, like, as long as Sanguinius was around and for his sons. Like, dude. Like, he didn't care if he was a psyker. He doesn't like Tzeentch and psykers in general because they're like, oh, look, I'm gonna do this. And they're sneaky little guys. But he wanted Sanguinius because he was like, give me the blood. And Sanguinius was totally capable of it. So, like, he knew he could fall to the rage and it would be plenty good enough for him. He doesn't care. Yeah, that Corn would have preferred Sanguinius over Angron. Which says a lot about how bad Sanguinius could get. Would you still love Sanguinius if he was a bug? Oh my gosh. I understand why guys get mad when their girlfriends ask these questions. I've never asked these questions. I've never asked these questions of anyone. Like, babe, would you still love me if I was a worm? No, don't ask those questions. No one appreciates those questions when you ask them. Angron is so mad he was... Wait, what was it? Is probably so mad he was Corn's second choice. At this point with the butcher's nails, I don't even think he cares. Everybody wants Sanguinius? Yes. Facts. That's facts. Yeah, no, they almost did succeed in getting Sanguinius, but one of Sanguinius's sons sacrificed himself so that he wouldn't be corrupted by chaos. It was quite touching. Would you love me if I was a servitor? You were obviously turned into a servitor for a good reason. Either you did a crime. There's also other reasons, but I won't say those. Those are kind of mean. Probably not. Probably not. There's probably a good reason you turn into a servitor. Chat, would you still love Aurelia if she was tall? What the heck? What the heck? What? Bruh, that's so mean. I am tall, chat. What are we talking about? You would love me if I was taller? No. What if I wore heels? I could be taller. I could be tall. Oh, this is so dumb. This is dumb. Some people only want the short Aurelia. Any taller? Oh my gosh. Oh. This is so sad. This is so Yeah, you don't like me already, chat. You don't like me already. It's all about height, isn't it? Ooh. Yikes. Ooh. That puts a large spotlight on all the girlies that won't date anyone above 6 feet tall. Yikes. I'm not one of those people. You have to be more than 9 feet tall, actually. So maybe I am one of those people. I don't have a 6 foot height limit. You have to be taller than 9 feet before I even consider. Are any of you more than 9 feet tall? I doubt it. That's funny. Oh my gosh. No, I don't care if you're above 6 feet. I need 9 feet tall, and yes, 12-foot wingspan. Correct. I have standards, chat. I have standards, and they're big standards. Okay, they're high standards. Fun fact, Angron actually might care if he knew, since he's currently jealous of Karn being Khorne's chosen champion and tried to kill him. Oh, well then, yeah, maybe you're right. Yeah. You're 9 foot 1 inch. Yeah, doubtful. I don't believe you. I don't believe you. I don't believe you. You're lying. No, I'm not fun-sized. Oh my gosh. Most VTubers like, you could just put me in your pocket. I'm so small. And I don't want to be in your greasy pocket. Get me out of your pocket, dang it. I don't want to be in the pocket. Flork of cows. Thank you for gifting some subs. Thank you very much. Congratulations to those of you who received some subscriptions, and welcome to the Legion.
We stand ready.
Thank you very much, Flork of Crows. Oh, it's your first time chat too? Thank you very much.
We stand ready.
Guys always add approximately 36 inches when they say their height online. Yeah.
We stand ready.
It would be kind of weird if a pocket were greasy, so I don't quite think, I was kidding. I don't want to be in anyone's pocket. Yeah, no, I was thinking that. I was like, I said greasy, and I was like, why did I say greasy? I don't want to be in your pocket. Get me out of your dang pocket. Yeah, you're only 8'11". Yep. Disqualified. I'm only accepting. Hang on. I need to, I'm looking for a man in finance. Trust fund. 6'5", blue eyes. I gotta come up with something that's like sanguineous. We got the blue eyes. I gotta think about it. It'd be funny. The hamburger pocket? What the heck is a hamburger pocket? What the heck? What? The hamburger? What kind of cursed world are we living in? A hamburger pocket? Keep that in like the bag. Keep that in like the special bag. James Norland, thank you for gifting a sub. Someone has the username Yvrain in the chat. That's funny. Where the grease... Ew. Ew. I'm sure Jurgen has a hamburger pocket. Oh, okay, I accept that. Jurgen probably does have a hamburger pocket. Yeah. You're right. Hey, Dagenhart, I understand your reference. Hot pocket. Oh, Jim Gaffigan's funny. This has got out of hand, but it's funny. Like I feel like it gets to a certain point where I'm like, I need to talk, otherwise I'm gonna go crazy on a stream. Like I watch something and like I'm supposed to pay attention, but I find chat really interesting. So I oh, you can gift sub to specific people on Twitch, and you can start sniping people. I guess that's one way to do it. Don't go crazy with it. But that's funny. That is funny if you were getting someone who was like already into Warhammer. Be responsible, chat. With great power comes great responsibility. Yeah, 3-hour-long video deserves a break here and there. So, you know, we talked about our Warhammer gotcha games, and now we're talking about me falling to chaos. Maybe we'll do a color stream where we do different Aurelia chaos armors. You sniped Spider Dad last time? Did he come into the stream? I don't remember seeing that. I actually don't know. That's funny. I thought it was someone who was already in the chat. That's funny. It's gonna be someone's dad, just like a random dad is like, what the heck? Or some just guy is like, why did I get gifted to this person's? You're expecting chat a thing that you don't even expect to be smart, to be responsible. No, I have expectations of chat. I think chat has the possible. It's possible for chat to be good and well behaved. I'm not gonna say chat is stupid. That's dumb. Black rage, red thirst, golden yaps. Yeah, I just yap. I yap too much, or just enough. Or just enough. The next thing you know, the Emperor is in chat. Well, on YouTube, we have the Emperor already, who pops up on occasion. Hey, I got a gift sub here. One question. Who are you people? A person gifted you a random sub. Well, hi. My name's Aurelia, and I'm a Warhammer Vtuber, and we're talking about Warhammer and Heresy stuff. I'm not sure how you got added to this, but yeah, welcome. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're here. James, be responsible, please. Don't bother all the people. Don't bother all the people, James. Thank you for the sub. Be responsible. But yeah, the warp got you here if you understand Warhammer 40k. And if you don't, I talk about it a lot. So if you want to learn more, you can learn more. Yeah, we're starting the heresy. Yes, I know. Please, chat. Please don't go crazy. Don't just like grab people and like make them come here, because that would be bad. No, chat. Oh, that's what you're saying. Someone who just got gifted this random sub would say. Okay, I misunderstood you. I was just like, how did that happen? I'm just pretty today. I'm pretty today, chat. That's just how it is. Yes, technically it's thematically appropriate for Warhammer, but we don't want to pull all of these people in that, like, even if they may want to join, like, I don't know. It's not clout chasing. It's not the same, but it feels like it's like similar. Like, so help me. I'm going to say this now before anyone gets any ideas. Don't do this to Bricky or anyone else you want me to like collab or work with ever in the future. That is a bad idea. Please do not do that. I do not condone that activity, because that is that makes me look bad. And I don't want that. So that's all I'm gonna say. Because I worry it would get into something like that instead of like people organically coming in and me organically meeting people for collabs. We're not making them, we're enticing them into the van with candy. No, this is not a van. This is not a white van. It's not like that. Well, they have to get in voluntarily. They have to see that we have nice things. They're like, hey, do you want to come with us? We're going to go have a lot of fun. And this is not, we're not trying to get them. We're not trying to kidnap them and get them in here. That's what do you be? Yes, that, what? No. So, tapata. So long, it doesn't make you look bad. It's okay. No. No. I also said no, so please don't. We're buying them a drink at a bar to talk about timeshares. Oh, great. No. Chat. Don't be like this, chat. Don't be like this. Why? Yeah, stop trying to find loopholes, chat. Gonna get bonked. I will find out who does these things. And I'll bonk. Hello to the people. Hello. I'm glad you could say hi before you go to school. This is heresy in my chat. But easy to expect because we've frankly, well, I did title my stream as having a lot of heresy. Yes, work on your minis while you do this. This is like the easiest thing to... Painting your minis is like the perfect opportunity. Like, perfect. This is the perfect opportunity to paint your minis, man. I'm messing up my sentences today. Paint your minis. You have a gray pile. It's sitting in your room. It's staring at you. Work on them. Okay? Work on them. Work on them, chat. This is a great time to do that. Okay? What did you think chat was gonna do? Oh my gosh. Any other heretical things you want to talk about, chat, or should we continue? Has this been a long enough break for us all to relax and chill? Chaos is corrupting chat. Yeah, that's true. That's true. The most you can do without crossing the line is using the Exterminatus or Sly Marble emotes and just hope someone sees and gets curious whose they are. Yep, that's true. Sly Marble. Press the button. I need to actually program the button so it does something. I'll get there eventually. I'll get there eventually. I currently need to choose between Blood Angels or Raveguard. I don't know because they're both so cool. Blood Angels, Blood Angels, Blood Angels. Do you want my opinion? And it doesn't matter if you don't want it because you're going to get it. Blood Angels. Blood Angels. Yeah, Sly does like to scream. I don't know what that means. Don't listen to her, birdie boys forever. Well, they're both bird boys. No. Blood Angels. Blood Angels. I do like the Blood Ravens, but I like Blood Angels better. I thought the button just ended the stream. Well, it can. Sometimes it's gone off and my stream has just died partway through. Ravenguard are way better. False. You're wrong. You're wrong. I don't know about the easier to paint part. They could be. But wait, if you're talking about he's talking about Blood Ravens, which are the same color as Blood Angels. So possibly similar difficulty. Oh, I'm tired today, chat. If we're on the subject of Heresy and Minnie's opinion on Abhuman Guard, Beastmen, Skavenlings, etc., I don't know enough about them. Ogryns are cool. I like the stories. I need to read more, like stories with the Ogryn and their like human commissars. Like those are like really wholesome. I love those. You said Raven Guard. Okay, well, Blood Angels. Even more so. Sorry, I got excited because I thought it was Blood Ravens. Whatever. Sorry, I guess you were right. Blood Angels. What are the channel points for? They don't do much at the moment. My channel points keep like building up. They're like supposed to be for like interaction and stuff, but I have a thing pulled up, but usually during like video reactions, I turn them down so it doesn't mess with the noise too much. Well, there you go. There's Slime Arbo that just popped up. Thank you, Evolved, for the bits. Yeah, Ogryn are cool. I like them. The others I don't know too much about. Yeah, a lot of people have a buildup of like the channel points, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like I have a lot, and I'm trying to like find things that aren't too disruptive to streams on the Twitch side because it doesn't mess with YouTube, only a little bit, but yeah, that's a tricky thing. Try to find a good balance here. Because a lot of you that have been here for a little bit, they've kind of like stacked up and they've built up all your channel points. And you guys have like similar levels of channel points. And I'm like, oh, that's a lot. That's a lot of channel points. Disable the timer on the wall and just let everyone play constantly for a minute and burn through all those points. Yeah, should we do that? Should we just do that? Oh my gosh. Maybe we should just do that. 1 second. Let me pull up my thing. I think this will actually let it run. All right, chat. Do we just want to burn through these? I'm going to turn the desktop audio down. 1 second. I'm logging into my thing that lets me do the stuff. That's a good idea. We're just gonna do this all right now. Okay, I have 600 channel points, but that's because I wanted the heart emote. It's a good one. I like that heart emote. Oh my gosh, sorry. I opened up the program and it just, oh, my ears. 1 second, I need to adjust the timer, chat. Just wait, be patient, please, while I fix this. Oh my gosh, that scared me. Hello, what's going on? We are taking a little break from watching the Theoreticus Heresy, and I am burning through chat's points because I barely have it set up. What am I looking for? I'm looking for viewer rewards. Okay. Customize. Oh no, I don't have that. Hang on. There we go. Okay, I have edit. We're not gonna have a cooldown. We're just gonna chat. We're gonna go nuts for like a minute, okay? And then we're gonna stop. We're gonna be good. I'm gonna also up the value of the points, I think. Yeah, that'll be good. So I apologize. We're just going to try to burn through a bunch of them while we're here. I've turned the alert down so it doesn't murder our ears. Theoretically. Okay, chat. It should be good now. So. Oh my gosh. Oh, it's so loud in my ears. Oh gosh. All right. Oh my gosh. It's so loud. Oh, add sandpaper cigarettes. I'll have to look at it. I'll have to do that. Okay, I'm turning it up a little bit. It's so loud. It's so loud in my ears. All right, you guys just keep going, and then we're gonna stop in a little bit. There we go. So many points. So many points. Maybe I should I have made the points higher? Perhaps I should have. I think I'm gonna make them higher, actually. I know I can add a cooldown, but I want them to be like, I want us to burn through them so that I can set reasonable ones. We're adjusting the points again. Sorry, chat. There's so many. There's a ton. There. I'm gonna turn down a little bit so we don't annoy everyone too much. That's how I lose viewers. They're like, oh my gosh, can this shut up? Wow, that was fast. See, yeah, sorry. I had to turn it up. I had to turn it up so we could get through them a bit quicker. I think we're good. Rip your points, yeah. Okay, are we good, chat? Are we done? Are we good? If there's anything else. Because if there's anything else. Okay, I think that might have been good for now. So I'm gonna throw a cooldown back on this. Probably gonna keep the point level up for now, and then I'll adjust it later. Okay, there we go. Thank you for your patience, everyone, while we manage that. Okay, turn this back up. This is a perfect time to be watching with your headphones. I'm on the balcony at 4 a.m. Oh my gosh. Go to bed. Might mute my phone for a bit so my neighbors don't get mad. Yeah, well, it's a good thing we stopped now. Oh my gosh. There. All right, we're all set. Should we go back to it, chat? Maybe we'll get like halfway through. And then we'll like call it good? Maybe? We'll see. We will see. I think it's fair to get back to it now.
The Night Lords.
Yeah. I do have one interesting lore tidbit about Sanguinius and what truly had Sanguinius' body and soul in his final moments. What do you mean? I'd love to hear more about that. And when the siege starts? Oh, yeah. Yeah, depending on when that pops up. I don't know when it will, but that would be good. Because we're already almost 3 hours in, and we still have 2 hours left. And that seems like a lot. Seems like a lot. Love me, say that you love me. All right, I'm going to start it, and then I'll read more comments as they come in.
The Salamanders, the Dark Angels, and the Raven Guard, who in turn will be ordered to abandon what missions they had to counter this more immediate threat to the Imperium. Rogel Dawn's rebellion will be crushed, and he and his followers will be destroyed, and all trace of their existence wiped from history, like those in times long ago that attempted their own petty power plays for their own self-interests.
Get timed out. You're getting timed out. I will time you out myself. Get sent to the Shadow Realm. Yeah, I get timed out.
Upon the bridge of the Emperor's Children flagship, the Pride of the Emperor, Fulgrim collapsed into his throne in sheer disbelief. He had learned that not only had some of his brothers turned against the Emperor, But one of those traitors was his closest friend of all, Ferrus Manus of the Iron Hands. He retreated to his quarters and, away from the watching eyes of his men and crew, broke down and openly wept, tears streaming down his face. He reached for a framed picture, made from paper taken from some of the last trees on Terra itself, and delicately ran his fingers over the image. The image was of Fulgrim and Ferrus embracing in a brotherly hug,
Ooh.
laughing about some events long forgotten, immortalized by one of the Legion's remembrances. Now, Fulgrim was faced with the prospect of having to kill his most beloved brother and friend.
Yikes.
Conrad Kurz, the Night's Haunter, would be pardoned for his actions given his role in suppressing this insurrection, and thus was moved from the brig of Fulgrim's ship. Kurz entered Fulgrim's chambers and placed his hand upon his brother's shoulder, a small attempt to comfort him. He informed Fulgrim that he would return to his ship to nightfall. Fulgrim bade him to stay a while, and asked if Kurz's power of foresight could see the resolution of this rebellion.
You
Kurz
are
attempted to
dead,
leave without saying a
sir.
word, but Fulgrim grabbed the Lord of Night and pinned him to the wall with surprising force. Fulgrim demanded that his brother tell him what would happen in this war. Comrade Kurz grinned his vampiric grin and told Fulgrim that loyalist and traitor.
I love the orc chat. I love the orc chat. A bottle of water. I've got some here. Thank you very much. It's very kind of you. Very kind of you. Yes, I'll accept some. Very delicious.
Alike will die screaming in unimaginable suffering. The armored fist will break the walls of gold, and that the Imperium will be shattered into a form unrecognizable by their father. Truth will be lost and replaced with lies. Fulgrim asked what fate would become of him in Comrade's visions. Comrade Kurz looked him straight in the eye and said one word: death.
Oof.
And
Yep.
with that, the Lord of Night left. Fulgrim
Wow.
once more picked up the picture before clenching his fist so tight that his grip cracked the glass and threw the frame at the wall, causing it to splinter and tear. His mood shifted. Gone was his heartache and sorrow, and in its place grew a burning fire. A fire of rage and hatred. Dawn, Gilliman, Russ, and Sanguinius will all pay for their treachery. But as for Ferrus Manus, Fulgrim swore he would bring his brother to justice, and that he would be the judge, jury, and executioner.
Dun dun dun.
Meanwhile, aboard the Divinitas Lex, Lorgar, unaware of the great heresy Dawn and his followers were perpetrating, received a transmission. An Ultramarine had come with a message from his Primarch, Rabute Gilliman, to be personally delivered to the Lord of the Wordbearers. As the Ultramarine met with Lorgar in his chambers, he handed Lorgar a small black glassy shard, in the shape of an 8-pointed star.
Ooh, what's he gonna do?
Vulcan, the Lord of Fire, Primarch of the Salamanders, was beloved by most of his brothers,
Yes,
and by the
yes,
people
yes.
of the worlds he brought into compliance. He was seen as a gentle giant who would unleash his fury to defend those he deeply cared for. It's always funny, though, to find that the kindest and gentlest souls can be driven to acts of such unimaginable cruelty.
Yeah, Sanguinius
The
rip.
Salamander's Legion had just finished the
Rip.
cleansing of the world of Kalek, driving to extinction the native Xenos population, powerful reptilian hominids that towered over the average Astartes. It transpired that the Kalekid had developed an advanced philosophy concerning their disgust of war, and had restricted such armed combat in such a way that it was kept contained within vast slaughterhouses. These slaughterhouses were massive in size, several kilometers in diameter.
Oh, that's horrible.
Having ascertained why the Kalekid had assembled within their slaughterhouses, the Salamanders prepared to face them in honourable combat. However, Vulcan received word that the Emperor requested his immediate aid. Vulcan took the opportunity to refuse to engage the Kalekid within their marked-out fields of battle, and simply had the species destroyed en masse from afar. When Vulcan returned to his flagship, the Flame Wrought, he was surprised to see a party of Ultramarines awaiting his return. The leader of this group of Ultramarines, Freitas Augustin, claimed to have urgent news for the Primarch.
That is not good.
Vulcan said that it would have to wait, for he had been summoned by the Emperor himself.
That's not good.
Augustin
Chat.
stated that this was far more important. Vulcan scoffed at the thought. What could possibly be more important than his father? Freitas Augustin pressed for Vulcan to humour him, holding a small black stone in his hand, presenting it to the Primarch. Vulcan looked at the small trinket and flung it back at the Ultramarine, growling in annoyance to not waste his valuable time. Augustin and his men, in response, drew their weapons and opened fire.
Oh.
A violent gun battle erupted.
I'm sorry, what?
Vulcan smashed Augustin's head clean from his shoulders
Yes!
with a single blow from his hammer, Dawnbringer, before crushing another Ultramarine's ribcage to dust.
Oh no, is that the guy we
blast from a
liked?
plasma gun caught Vulcan point blank in the eye, causing the Primarch to stagger and fall to the deck with a deafening thud.
Oof.
Soon, all the Ultramarines lay dead on the bridge, along with several salamanders and servitors who were caught in the crossfire.
Yikes.
Shortly after, the first captain, Artellus Numion, and members of the Pyre Guard stormed the bridge to find the scene of the carnage. Numion hurriedly rushed to his Primarch's side and shook his head in despair. Vulcan was bleeding heavily from the head, where his flesh had been blasted to the bare bone, and his one remaining eye was closed. The puddle of blood flowed all over the metal deck until it touched a small black shard that Vulcan had dismissed but a few moments earlier.
Oh
Which gave
no.
out a single, gentle pulse.
Oh, they're
Vulcan
saying it
found
corrupts
dripping in
him.
the ether. A large spectral creature in the form of a vast black and white dragon spoke to him.
Oh, that's bad.
It told Vulcan that he must travel to Istvan V. His brother Rogel Dawn and the Dauntless Few needed his aid, for the good of humanity and the Imperium. The shard pulsed once more, and Vulcan sat upright, and his flesh began to slowly knit back together. Artelius.
That's not good. That's not good. The power of hugs revive you. Yes, he just needs a hug and he's fine. He'll get back up. It'll be just fine. It'll be just fine.
Numion and the Pyre Guard viewed it as a miracle, and began to stomp and chant, "Vulcan lives."
Someone watched TTS. Vulcan lives. Stomp, stomp.
Vulcan lives. Lorgar took the shard of black glassy stone into his hand and felt its energy pulsate from it. He received a series of flashes in his mind's eye of howling monstrosity.
I mean, I will say this guy did participate in some of the TTS shorts, so I can't say, like, oh, well, he definitely, obviously he watched them. Obviously he watched them.
And beings that were as divine as they were dangerous. Reflexively, he dropped the shard onto the floor of his chambers with a gentle clinking sound. He recognized the aura that emanated from it as being identical to those that existed within vast monuments that were erected on his homeworld of Colchis during his youth, of the Covenant of Colchis and the Old Faith, of the old gods, Pan, Dezen, Slanat, and Arag. Lorgar slowly turned his gaze to the Ultramarine, Arius Cordos,
We don't like
who had handed the
Lorgar.
shard to him, demanding to know where he acquired it. He then for the first time noticed the rune of the 8-pointed star, painted over his father's imperial aquila.
Dun dun dun.
Arius Cordos smiled, and relayed the story of how Lorgar's brother, Rabute Gilliman, had discovered the Black Oculus on Kutus Prime, and was shown visions of the future.
And Lorgar's
and
like,
of the
man,
truth
I wish that
by
was
none other
me.
than gods. Lorgar was right, Cordos said. The gods are real, and the Emperor and his actions were not only harming them, but his actions would damn humanity and the Astartes to extinction. Lorgar grew angry, but calmly stated that there is no god but the Emperor of mankind, and that the actions of the Ultramarines were that of dangerous heretics consorting with devils,
Oof.
not gods. Cordos shook his head and said that the Five would bring a new golden age to humanity, which would end in the death of the Emperor for his crimes against his sons, his people, and the very gods themselves, and that those who did not join this revolution would also fall to eternal damnation. Lorgar's own fanaticism boiled through his veins, and he plunged his fist with immense force through Cordos' ribcage and crushed his two hearts with his armored fingers.
Oh,
He let
dang.
Cordos fall to the floor with a sickly wet thunk,
We stand
and
ready.
calmly walked over to his bedside table and picked up an old ceremonial knife. Gilliman was called to the docking bay of his flagship.
What are you gonna do?
He had
What are you
been
gonna do,
informed that
bro?
Arius' ship had returned. Expecting good news, he went down to personally receive it. What greeted him, shocked, and angered him. The ship contained the crucified body of Arius Cordos, his face covered in a series of deep scores and cuts, in a crude representation of the Imperial Aquila.
That's a choice. That's a choice, Lorgar. Yikes. That is a choice. Ooh. One True Gamer, thank you so much for resubscribing. Thank you for continuing to be part of the Legion. Oh my. Yeah, now people are... Yeah, someone said it was like, man, no one's died yet, and then now everyone's dying left and right. There's a lot of death now, chat. There's a lot of death.
Around his neck hung a sign, with words painted in blood, that said, Ave Imperator Heretic.
Oh!
Gilliman slammed his gauntleted fist into the ship's hull in anger. Lorgar would pay for this insolence. Rogel Dawn sat upon his throne on board his flagship, the Phalanx, and pondered. He had agents sent out to those brothers whom he believed could side with him, but there were others who would be considered too wild in the central conflict. He decided to take advantage of his position of War Master, and if those wildcards were still unaware of this insurrection of his, they would simply send them on crusades far away.
You can take Lorgar out of chaos, but you can't take the chaos out of Lorgar. Yeah, he made an interesting choice, carving into a man's flesh. Ooh.
As possible, in preparation of his force's assault on Holy Terror. A proximity alarm began to ring throughout the phalanx. A vast fleet was approaching them, and fast. As the ship's crews worked in overdrive to make prepared weapon systems and raising shields, the phalanx received a transmission from the fleet's flagship, identifying itself as the Invincible Reason. Rogal Dawn stormed onto the bridge of the phalanx and demanded to know how such a large fleet could arrive so close to them without detection. When none of the bridge crew answered, he demanded that the transmission be put through.
It's Core X.
As he looked at the monster,
right?
He watched it flicker and stabilize into the image of his brother, Lion L. Johnson,
the
Lord of Caliban,
okay,
Primarch of the Dark Angels Legion. There was an uncomfortable silence between the two for an indeterminate number of heartbeats, before finally the Lion spoke. The Lion asked the War Master why he was doing this, but his tone was not one of anger or fury, but rather one of morbid curiosity, which surprised him. The two would begin to talk at length about Rogal Dawn's plan and the visions he had received. Lionel Johnson was admittedly impressed by the sheer size of Rogal Dawn's force that he already acquired, and he warned the War Master that 5 other legions were en route to put a stop to this heresy. Dawn asked him why he would give such advance warning and knowledge to him. The Lion stated that he knew of Dawn's attempted coup and of their father's own righteous fury. Ever the strategist, he was carefully weighing up the situation before deciding to choose with whom to place his bets for victory.
And he picked Dorn. Interesting.
Lionel Johnson decided to side with Rogal Dawn.
I guess if you think of it this way, Guilliman has a lot of legion. Like, his legion is one of the largest legions, if not the biggest, at his disposal. So they do have a lot of manpower. So I guess that's not too surprising. Interesting rationale. Not my rationale, but, you know, not bad.
Something in return. When Dawn became the new emperor, he would crown the Lion as the new War Master. Rogal Dawn considered it for a moment before agreeing. And with that, the Dark Angel's fleet disengaged and headed to the outer limits of the Istvan system, ready to maintain their illusion of loyalty to the Emperor. The Alpha Legion fleet soon re-entered material space, the first to arrive outside of the Istvan system, and was soon joined by the fleets of the Emperor's children.
Oh boy, this is gonna suck.
They saw the Dark Angel's fleet had already arrived, and patiently waited for the arrival of the Raven Guard and Salamander's legions, before discussing battle plans. Alfarius, however, decided to dispatch small cells of agents to the other fleet's flagships, to allow them to spy upon his brothers.
Sneaky,
The
sneak,
current
sneak.
situation had made him more paranoid than usual, and gave his spies their orders to watch for signs of treachery, and, if necessary, either terminate the target or try to overload the warp cores of the traitors' flagships.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Any traitors would be suitably dealt with. The lunar wolves began to descend upon Jagoras. Thousands of Thunderhawk and Stormbird gunships landed upon the world, and Horus and his men marched, intending to arrest Jagatai Khan. The lunar wolves soon found themselves encircled by dozens of warbikes, landspeeders, and jetbikes, the traditional intimidation tactic of the White Scars. The lunar wolves raised their weapons in response, but Horus ordered that no one was to open fire. He walked on ahead, alone from the rest of his forces, and once more called out to Jagatai Khan. Jagatai Khan rode towards him on his custom warbike and revved its engine repeatedly. He demanded Horus to leave his world and leave him be, for there are more important things at stake. Horus said with a sad voice that he cannot leave without bringing Khan back, either to tear it in chains or in a coffin. For Jagatai was a traitor in their father's eyes,
oh boy,
and needed to be punished for his actions. Jagatai Khan was enraged, his whole body trembling with anger.
Yeah, Horus could have been given, he could have rizzed him up and been like, yo man, like, I don't want to do this either. Like, they could have gone about so much better. I think the downside when you try to do a immediate, like, a flip of the story where it's like the traitors are loyalists and loyalists are traitors, it doesn't work well, because some characters just don't fit into those slots. Because in this case, Horus is at the same time Dorn and Leman Russ, which he's not really quite like either of those. If he's going to be like he's like a weird split between the two. So neither of them would use charisma to try to win someone over, whereas he would. And I think that's the kind of a downside when you try to do a split like that. You'd really, I think the best way to do it is to choose a War Master, consider the reasoning and the rationale, and then you'd have to do each one individually. And you're like, okay, so if this happened, and you kind of have to select one or two of them. And if you wanted to go where some of the original traitors are loyalists and some of the original loyalists or traitors, you pick a couple, and then you have to provide extra context as to why you think they're the traitor. So, like, for example, they made Gilliman the traitor here, and you're like, okay, I don't see Gilliman as the kind who's like, I'm gonna get really obsessed with this rock, and I'm gonna study it, like, severely. Like, that doesn't seem like his MO. But I think if you do stuff like that and you explain it really, really well, you're like, okay, these are like the two that kind of fit into these categories. And then you can get to the other ones like, okay, they explain this to them. Like there was one where it's like they summoned Lehman Russ, Ferrus Manus, and Sanguinius. And they were like, yo, our dad, he sucks. He sucks really bad. If then you can kind of get away with it. For like those three, you can go through a little bit of like thought process. But when you try to do the flip, like such a hard flip, it's difficult to really make it accurate, in my opinion. Hello to everyone who's joined. We're watching some Theoreticus Heresy. It seems to be going well so far. Yeah, it's trying to shoehorn every like little thing into you're trying to get every single piece, and I think it could be a little bit more unique, but this was made several years ago, so I'm not too bothered. It's just like, oh, that's just my own thought. I'm late. What I miss? Explain everything. Heresy. So that's what I'm gonna say. This is why this needs to be a stream slideshow of my heresy. Okay, perhaps I'll come up with a version of like my heresy. What I would come up with, like, oh, that could be cool actually. Like where I do the whole thing, where I do my heresy. That would be quite a writing project, but I could do it. It'd probably be in bullet points and like less writing, more bullet points, and more talking. All right, I'm gonna write that down. Because I would be, let's think, the Tempris heresy, except I'm not the main character. I'm not the main character, chat. Let me stream ideas. Where's my... Bruh. Where is it? I'm just gonna put it here. I'm just gonna put it in my special server. Okay. Yeah, I could sit down and do it. That actually would be kind of like a fun, like, writing experiment. Found you on my recommended. Seize Heresy, embrace Sanguinius. I will embrace Sanguinius. Don't you worry about that one. What about we do our own heresy and review it together? I could see it being a fun thing where if a bunch of people in the Discord server got together and did their own version, that wouldn't be too bad. It is a lot of work though, so I just don't know how well that would work in a group setting. Because everyone kind of needs to be on the same page, and that's tricky. Like having multiple writers in one book is difficult. So, like, even writing this by yourself is going to be a task because you have to be really intentional about the rationale, and you still want to keep some of the themes from, like, there are some things of the heresy you're going to want to keep. Like, it does have to be a purging of the loyalist legions. Do I think it has to be at Istvan? No, I don't think it does. I think you can find other ways to do that. Yeah, there might be too many chefs for that one, unfortunately, for it to be a thing that, like, chat does and we do a comparison. It might honestly just be, like, a whole thing. where I just do it. Well, I guess what I'll have to do is I'll have to read all of the other ones so I can come up with something that's unique. And not that I'd be accused of like stealing, but I don't want my ignorance to be like, oh, well, you just took it from this, when I would be happy to make my own original version. Because I think there's a couple people that are like good options for War Master besides Horus. This would be like an ongoing project. I'd have to work on this for probably several weeks to make sure I got all of my notes right. I do like this idea, though. I will do it. That'd be kind of fun to do in the future. Maybe it'll be something like, well, that might be too soon. When we hit 10K or maybe 40K or something. 10K would be too soon, but like 40K. I'll take some time. It needs a lot of time to do it. It's not like a week. You'd have to do it like a whole thing. You mean we all do it and show it at the same time? Yeah, but I just don't know how many people will actually be part of it, because it's not like this is an easy thing to write. Like, this is a massive undertaking. It's a massive project if you want it to make sense and if you want it to be good. And yeah, that I don't know if I could be like, here, everyone, do this project, or like. And even reading it out is going to take a while if you are very thorough in how you explain everything. Like, even if I got 5 people to contribute, including mine, like that might be 2 or 3 streams, depending on, like, because I'm going to have to read it out loud. There's like a good chance that I'll be reading it out loud. I could tell you're down, James. We just, it at the moment, I don't know if it's viable. Maybe in the future, but, yeah, at least I will do one eventually. I should read all the other ones, because I am genuinely curious. GW is at 60 books just to explain this version. Yes, that's a very good point. Yeah. I feel like Heresy Aurelia would probably end up liking another Primarch instead of Sanguinius. Oh, dang. That's the extent of my heresy. I just like another Primarch. Lore videos can summarize it in 30 minutes. Well, I mean, yes, but that includes a lot of writing and pruning and trimming and practicing your lines. If I'm reading it out right now, and I don't know what's being said, like, there's no guarantee I could read one story in 30 minutes. This guy has he has like 3 hours worth of this. 3 hours. Would Heresy Aurelia be Aurelia lost without her Sanguinius? I have ideas, actually. I have some ideas that I think would be really good. But I will do this. I'm excited. I'll have to figure out. It'll be a slow process, and I'll really have to consider everything. What I'll probably have to do, so normally for like my PowerPoints, I just kind of get ideas and I kind of make the PowerPoint as I go. But for this, I'll probably have to like storyboard it pretty heavily before I even consider making it into a PowerPoint, and like really get into the notes and write everything out. But this idea of a project is exciting. I mean, we don't have to go too intricate. I mean, you don't, but I'm gonna. I never thought I would make my own like version of the Heresy. I want it to be really good, because I don't want people to see and be like, that's dumb. I want it to like genuinely be an interesting version that people are like, oh, I like her take on this. We're not writing a book here. Speak for yourself. I might write a book here. And it doesn't have to be super grimdark. It's just like, you general outline the points, but I think there, in some senses, you do need to explain what's going on and why people rationalize what they rationalize. I'm gonna cook, chat. I'll cook. I'm already like thinking about it, like what I would do, because I think not the most important piece, is okay. Also, chat. Quick question: if I did write my own heresy version, do I include myself in it, or is it just do I do regular heresy? Because the fate of Sanguinius is important, and I'm fine with writing one without me in it. But I could see people who don't know me, like, what is it? This girl just wrote herself into the Warhammer universe. Like, maybe I'll do 2 separate versions. Yes, I need myself in it. Yeah, what I could do is I could do 2 different ones where I could have my own personal one where it's just me for like a stream. And then I could do one that's like, I could do one that I just make a VOD for. Both. 2 versions, I'd like to see you in it. Normal first as proof. You can be Sanguinius's Abaddon. It could work out that way, but I think that would actually make his sons pretty upset, so I would never step into that position. A few scenes with you that have like 2 versions, yeah, because it really depends. Like the big piece of mine will be like, where does Sanguinius fall in this mess? I could do it like Kane, where I'm writing it up like Amberly, just leave my footnotes. That's not a bad idea. Yeah, normalized proof. Yeah, I think I'll do like the normal one, and then later do I think for a stream I'll just do like one with me, because that'd be fun. How my hubby saved the galaxy. It has to be enough grimdark, though. There have to be things that die. Yeah, Amit might be pissed. He'd be very pissed. I would never ask for that. Also, I don't really fall under the Blood Angels, like, office. Like, I don't fall into the Blood Angels hierarchy. It doesn't work that way. There would not be a lot of respect there if that happened. I would never ask for that, and I would actually not be part of it. I'd say, nope, we're not doing that. Ugh. The Magnus heresy? Oh, that would not be good. So what I'll do then, chat, is I'll start with a normal one. And then for a regular stream, I'll do one with me involved, but that one I'll definitely put on the back burner. Is my lore on the 30K timeline? Well, that's what I know the most about. And I would say yes. I would say yes. I think that's all I can really say. He did everything wronger. Oh, Magnus. Yes, he did everything wrong. It just got worse. Magnus, he just messed everything up. It sucks now. It just sucks. Okay. All right, now that we've got that squared away, we'll watch a little bit more. I think we'll listen to a little bit more of this chat. How far do I need to get to be halfway? I can't do math. I think with 20 more minutes, I think we get halfway, and I think that's a good spot to stop, in my opinion.
He dismounted his bike and drew his Talwar blade, activating its arcing blue energy field, taking up a combat stance and standing his ground. He told his brother that he was no traitor, but he would not be arrested, and if Horus wanted to bring him back to Terra, it would be over his cold, dead body.
Oof.
Horus gripped his mace, Worldbreaker, in his hands, and thumped the activation rune. causing the weapon to crackle into life. The whole world seemingly fell silent before the two brothers charged at one another, followed by the legions under their respective command. As the last remaining battle barge from the Battle of Prospero raced through the warp, the newly appointed Lord of the Thousand Suns, Isaac Ahriman, hoped that they would encounter some of their brothers. When they re-entered real space for the Tech Marines and the Mechanicum adepts to carry out urgent repairs, Ahriman's prayers were seemingly answered. A trio of light cruisers made course to intercept them, both painted in ruby red with the heraldry of the Thousand Suns Legion.
Okay.
Isaac Ahriman opened a transmission to the lead vessel, and was relieved to see his brother of the Corvidae cult.
Oh, that's good.
Arvidar inquired as to what Isaac Ahriman was doing so far from Prospero. Ahriman, with a heart filled with
My
sadness and
dad
regret,
just died.
informed Arvidar of the fate of Prospero, and of the heroic sacrifice of Magnus the Red against the traitorous forces of the Space Wolves, and of the change of Leman Russ into a new, bestial form. Refuel Arvidar had always been a skeptical soul, but seeing Ahriman so far from Prospero, and away from his Primarch side, convinced him it was true, while he thought Ahriman to be too shadowy for his own tastes. One thing Ahriman was not, was a liar. When Ahriman asked about the mission that Refuel Arvidar and his men were undertaking, Arvidar smiled. They had discovered a piece of ancient technology on a nearby moon. A standard template constructor, which could construct the legendary and highly dangerous Men of Iron.
Oh
A few days
boy.
prior to the Battle of Istvan V,
Men of Iron.
Corvus Corax, the Primarch of the Raven Guard, sat in his chamber opposite the Ultramarine envoy. He listened to him talking about Dawn's great plan to turn the Imperium into something greater than it is now. He fell into two minds about the situation, being a revolutionary in his own right when he liberated his home from the tyrants who enslaved his people.
Oh, so they're
Found it
just
hard to
basically
believe
going to
that
say,
Nebuk would become such a cruel dictator, but all the signs were there. His great crusade to bring all the
yep,
worlds to
okay.
one banner, under one figurehead. Corax could see both sides of the coin. He thanked the Ultramarine for his message, and said he would inform his brother of his decision soon. He asked one of his captains, Solara Ann, for his take on the situation. Solara stated that he believed that such open rebellion was foolish, but at the same time, he believed that his father couldn't let all of humanity fall under an iron thumb if what the Ultramarine said was true. Corax was racked by indecision, but having received word from Terra itself to undertake in stopping this rebellion, he knew he would have to reach a decision, and soon.
yeah, you kind of do,
Up
man.
on the surface of Istvan V, Rogol Dawn himself landed to inspect the fortifications for the upcoming battle. Ferrus Manus of the Iron Hands had personally taken charge of the defences and greeted his brother with a clenched fist to the chest in a military salute. Miles upon miles.
I was honestly hoping that for Istvan 5 and Istvan 3, that I don't know. I was kind of hoping that there would be something different that Dorn did to get rid of his traitorous sons. It kind of felt like it's man, should have just man, I kind of wish he came up with something different to make it more intriguing. Yeah, Istvan is obviously horrible, but I just feel like there could have been something that was more creative that he did that was more Dorn like. I get the feeling that he would have just straight up executed his men rather than that he would have just straight up executed his men rather than doing all the Istvan 5 stuff. Horus did it that way because he because he still kind of had the charisma and people believed him. But I think Dorn could have just been yeah, just straight up execute them. That's all we need to do. I just didn't like it as much, if I'm being perfectly honest.
Of weapons batteries and artillery had been established, along with trenches and tank traps. Ferrus Manus informed the War Master that everything was close to readiness. He then inquired about their brothers. Gilliman would take command of the fleet and charge of the naval battle. Leman Russ, in his new bestial form, along with his legion, had yet to return from Prospero, while Sanguinius and his kin were preoccupied with stimulating themselves to ever-increasing heights of pleasure, despite Dawn's wishes. While a bunch of pleasure-induced maniacs would be useful fodder on the battlefield, without Russ to join them, and Gilliman commanding the naval battle in orbit, it would be an extremely bloody conflict.
Yeah.
Ferrus Manus gripped his Thunderhammer, Forgebreaker, and looked at it sadly. The hammer was constructed by his beloved friend Fulgrim. He hoped he wouldn't have to use it, and that Fulgrim would see sense and join them.
I doubt it.
Rogel Dawn reminded Ferrus Manus that they were at war, and there would be no place for sentimentality at this time. As the Salamanders and Raven Guard fleets approached the Isvan system, Alfarius activated a mass transmission to the legions. He began to describe his battle plan, where the Alpha Legion would make a series of flanking maneuvers, while the Emperor's children and Night Lords committed to a forward assault.
Yeah, I
The Raven
agree.
Guard and Salamanders
Sanguinius is
would remain
better
reserved
suited for
to
Khorne, in
replace
my
those with run out of
opinion.
ammunition, or unable to continue fighting, while reinforcing their defences. Fulgrim gripped his power sword, Fireblade, in his hand. and
Yeah.
he thumbed the activation rune, and the blade became wreathed in fire. As he gazed into it, he remembered back to the words that Conrad Kurz had spoke to him. Death.
Yep, you're gonna die, bro.
Horus and Jagatai Khan clashed on the plains of Jagoras, striking at and blocking each other with their weapons, like knights from ancient legend. The Khan was known for his skill with a blade, his disdain of acrobatics and fancy ornate moves that many of his brothers used, preferring on relying on the simpler, brutish yet skillfully targeted strikes. The two locked their weapons again and stared each other down. Horus said that this wasn't personal, he was merely following their father's orders. Jagatai Khan spat back that because of Horus's actions, their father may soon no longer live.
Oh boy.
This comment enraged Horus, who pushed Jagatai back, causing him to kick up a large cloud of dust and loose soil. Jagatai used his lightning speed to rain blow after blow on Horus.
I did consider Tzeentch for Sanguinius for the same reasons that he wants to avoid the fate where he dies where he sees himself dying every time. Well, not every time, but he sees himself die frequently, and I think that would be good because he'd want to avoid his fate. And if Tzeentch was like, "Yeah, I can guarantee that," I think he'd go for it.
Tower, until Horus blocked the blade with his bladed talon and crushed it, sending arcs of light in all directions as the field generator within the blade shorted out. He swung his mace, Worldbreaker, and sent Jagatai flying back several feet into the dirt. Horus slowly stepped towards him, ignoring the battle raging around them between the Lunar Wolves and the White Scars. He lowered his mace to his brother, and demanded that the Khan yielded. Jagatai Khan groaned in pain. The blow from Worldbreaker had cracked his ribcage.
Ooh.
He glared up at Horus, with disdain in his eyes, too proud to ever surrender. A bolt of warp lightning caught Horus off guard, causing him to stagger as the Stormseers approached. Bolt after bolt impacted Horus's Cataphracti plate, sending sparks and searing paint and decorative fur off with a pungent smell of burnt metal. Horus gritted his teeth and braced himself, slowly pushing his way forward as the Psychers continued to attack him with their
You haven't
supernatural
missed much.
abilities.
We're only on one
A
heresy.
Rhino APC rolled up.
It's kinda
and a combat
long.
squad of White Scars, along with the apothecary, Altan Nohai, disembarked. Altan Nohai tended to his Primarch, examining the state of his injuries. The White Scars Astartes began to open fire on Horus, the rounds from their bolters impacting his armor. But still the massive Primarch pushed forward, his face twisted with fury and determination. Nohai informed the Chief Stormseer, Tagutai Usegi, that the Khan needed immediate medical attention. The White Scars needed to flee Jagoras. Usegi gave the order, and the White Scars began to pull back and retreat, desperate to reach their transports. As Horus raged at his brother's cowardice for not fighting until the end like a true warrior, he turned to his first captain, Ezekiel Abaddon. Abaddon was told to call a retreat.
Abby,
The Lord would
Abby,
lead
Abby.
Jagoras, and in lieu of killing or apprehending the traitor, Horus would declare the world to be subject to exterminatus via planetary bombardment. As the lunar wars retreated to orbit, the fleet began to rain lance fire down upon the world, until the very planet's core detonated, a bright flash of light scattering billions of tons of debris and rock out into the lifeless void.
Honestly, I think this is probably a good place to stop. It's a little it's a little short of halfway through. So I think we've actually gone through a lot. This is part of the Theoreticus heresy, which we probably call it good. I'm down to chat a little bit longer. Ben, thank you so much for subscribing and becoming a Legionnaire. Appreciate it. Hard to imagine a loyalist legion that would have otherwise fallen to Slaanesh and still be articulated without tempting TOS. Yeah, I agree. I think the next best one is the blood angels, but it's not really a good option in terms of like who falls to who ends up falling to Slaanesh. So here we'll probably call that good, but I'm down to continue chatting since, you know, I'm having fun. But yeah, it kind of slows down. There's a lot of words. So I'm learning a lot in how I want to structure my videos so that they're a little more, well, that they're a little more straightforward, and you don't have to get into all the details. But I do like the video. I think the concept is interesting, and I definitely want to come up with my own version of it. What did you guys think, chat? For being a little less than halfway through, I don't think that was too bad. Did get distracted a lot, and sorry about that. Yeah, I apologize in advance for my easy distractions. It was heresy. It was heresy. I 100% agree. Definitely heresy. You like the idea of someone playing out an alternate heresy? Yeah, I like the different like ideas that come up. I like the Lionel one. I thought that one was like decent at least. But I need to read it again. And the Dornian one I've not heard of, but I know Erebus gets absolutely creamed in that one, so I'm happy to hear about it. Yeah, it'll be fun to make the Aurelia Heresy too be my version. So, but we'll see how it turns out. That'll be good. You just want to purge everything and reach with fire. Make sure it's not a loyal citizen of the Emperor. I'll be excited to see this one continue. This heresy is the reason I love Loyalist Alpha Legion. It showed how fully committed Alpha Legion can wreak absolute havoc. Yes, that is completely true. This was interesting. Don't like all the reason for the Loyalist fall. Yeah, you can't have everything. You can only ask for so much when it comes to just the different ideas people have. Oh well, I don't mind it. I at least enjoyed like listening to it. So I think it was a lot of fun. Yeah. Does anyone else have any other like questions or stuff that they want to just chat about? I'm down to talk for a little bit more if you got questions or anything you want to like you thought was interesting about the video that you thought was good. I have a thought about playing Imperial Fists and Heresy too, and make Chaos like Dorn. Oh, that'd be good. Yeah, I'm back at it again. Lorgarian Heresy, no one likes him, so nothing happens. They all just go in and like beat him up, and then that's it. Yeah, that's pretty accurate though. That's pretty accurate. No, not many people like Lorgar except his own sons. Of the Primarchs able to return to 40k, which one do you want to return next? Like, can I... Like, are you saying, like, the ones that, like, just went missing and they need to re-emerge? Because if I had to pick one that returned, I would want Sanguinius to return. But it's probably not going to be him. I think... If I was going to choose one that I wanted to return that's like seems like more likely for them to return because they like disappeared, probably Dorn. Probably Dorn. I would want Dorn to come back. Angry Heresy. Angron rages, then dies. No one notices. Oh, that's sad. That's sad. What's your favorite Xenos faction? I don't remember you talking about non-human stuff at all. Eldar. Those guys are cool. You could get Sangi back, but I don't think anyone but Papa Nurgle has access to necromancy. Yeah, I know. It's probably not going to happen. You think Sanguinius is next? Why do you think Sanguinius is next? Like, I think even if they, like, got the souls back and, like, tried to put them together, like, it wouldn't be the same person. I don't think it would be. If it did, oh my gosh. You guys would be in so much trouble. I would be non-stop talking about it. I want the con to come back and GW give us better bike models. And then better than the But the McDonald's toy ones, oh my gosh. Jagatai or Korax is going to be back next. I think Korax would be good too. I want him to find Lorgar in the warp. Beat him up for me. Sanguinius' soul's in the warp. The only person who can save Sanguinius is Sanguinius if we go by how Celestine resurrects. I think he'll be one of the last ones to emerge. If they even bring all of them back. And I'll probably be old and gray whenever they bring Sanguinius back. GW announces Sanguinius is back, and Aurelia takes out a loan on her house to buy Blood Angels models. Oh my gosh. I would buy the Sanguinius model so fast. Like, yeah, technically I could 3D print him, but no. We're gonna paint that boy. We're gonna paint him. Yeah. You think Russ is next? There's a lot of different options. They have a ton to go off of. Oh, you're saying in order for Sanguinius to come back, some Blood Angels might need to sacrifice themselves? Oh, that would be difficult. That would be so rough. Imagine you've never seen Sanguinius. Or like your Dante. Well, no, it wouldn't be Dante because he's going to die in service of the Emperor. What? What did I just... What? Wait. Did I miss a previous message? It turns out the Aurelia heresy was just a very messy divorce from Sanguinius. Yeah, no, that's not how that's going. I'm not. When I get married, I'm making a commitment for life. You have to make a very important... Your choice for who you decide to stay with for the rest of your life is very, very important. And for me, I'm going to be very intentional about that decision. And when I'm married, like that, it's commitment for life. There are some exceptions, of course, if like bad things happen. Like, you know, those are pretty bad. But like I'm committed for life. So I'm going to take the time and not do dumb things and make sure I've picked out the right person that I want to have spend the rest of my life with. I need to know everything that I'm getting into. Because divorce is not an option in my mind. Like it's not an option. That's my take on it. I highly recommend when you are picking someone you want to spend the rest of your life with, you really consider everything. Because if you don't, it could be pretty bad for you. Is Sanguinius the right person? I mean, from what I know about him, yes. He is a fictional character, so that does make it, like, the personal conversations, you can't have those. Like you would with a human being. So, like, I mean, from what I've read, he seems really solid. There are some flaws there that you'd have to work through, and I have my own flaws. Yeah, it takes two to agree on it. That's why I'm saying you have to be very intentional about who you pick out, because if there's someone who has like the same values and goals as you, then it's like perfect. Then you look at each other and you're like, okay, this is our plan. And everything until you're married, like even if you're engaged and you're like a day before you're married, you can still, like, if you're still not sure, like a day before you get married, then you shouldn't. And like I said, there are exceptions. Like if they do something really bad, like, I'm just like, if they're abusive and stuff, like, yes, that is an exception. Like that's like, I'm not going to be like, yeah, no, don't get divorced. Nah, they're abusing you. Get out of there. Anyways. But yeah, I just say make the best choices. Really, like, take your time. And don't do dumb stuff, like, in advance. Like, just be smart about it. And then stay committed. I think you'll be a lot happier if you've picked the right person. And your values align, and how you want to manage your finances align, and have a family, including like kids. If that all aligns, Yes. Yeah, it did get deep really fast. Like, someone just said that, and I was like, all right, chat, we got to get into this. I've said this before, and I will probably continue to say this for as long as I stream. I think it's really important. Or don't get into any relationship, only time for the blood god. Yeah, no, I don't think the blood god really reciprocates that relationship that you have. Yeah, just pick the right person and then continue to work together to get better and work through your problems, because you're a team. Add divorce to band terms so no one sets her off again. No. That's the last thing I want to do. Actually, I think this is something people really need to hear. Like, I honestly think, I would not, there's some words, and don't test this, chat, but, there's words that I don't ban. I don't, there's some words I just don't ban because, I honestly think sometimes those things are really important to talk about. So I would not ever, I wouldn't ever ban that word, because if someone, mentions something like that, I'm like, yeah, that's just important. It's important to me. It seems to happen so frequently, and it's a shame, because a lot of pain and strife comes from not picking the right person, and people get so wrapped up in their feelings and their emotions that they don't think straight, and they just make a decision and they make a call. So I won't ever block words like that or ban them, because hey, if there's at least one person who hears what I said and they're like, man, you're right, or even if they just oh, that's interesting, I find it interesting she said that, then it's good. In some cases, I think divorce is necessary. I will say that. I think if you truly want to be with a person, you will actively work every single day to make your marriage better. I know people grow apart, but I think, and there are very, very varied reasons and why that happens. So I can't say it works for everyone, but I think that if you are intentional about your marriage and your relationship, that you will continue to work at it every single day and make it better, even in the hard times. Because I've had those. See, that's nice. My girlfriend and I have been together for 5 years, and she's been supportive and saved me from dark spaces. So when we first got together, so finding the right person is amazing. Yes. Yeah. So I think on top of finding the right person, when you are married, it's not, okay, we're done here. No, you're not done. It's only just started. A wedding doesn't mean all your problems are solved. It just means that you two are together, and that you've made it clear to people that you want to stay together for life. Ooh, Sanguinius is tempted by Slaanesh and falls for Aurelia and now has to kill Sanguinius. Yeah, that would be pretty tragic. Yeah, I agree. That applies to having children. Oh my gosh. Bro. Ooh. Isn't divorce better than cheating? Yes, don't cheat. Chat, don't cheat. Stay loyal, please. I'm begging you. And if you are cheating currently, be honest. Be upfront. Don't let that person continue their life. So, you need to be honest. I apologize in advance. I'm kind of these are things that are I value these things highly, so I get a little bit passionate, and I get a little bit no, there is no other way, chat. There is nothing different. This is the right way. So I apologize in advance. Yes, I would say it is better than cheating, but I think if you say, hey, honey, I've been having these thoughts and I don't necessarily want to have them, but I'd rather us work on this than me just cheat. Yeah, I mean, and I appreciate the people that try. I appreciate the people that try, and they try to make it work, because sometimes it doesn't work, and I can't speak on those situations. I know I have strong feelings about it, but you know, I'm not in a situation where I can be like, oh, well, just do this, and this. It's not a step-by-step procedure. Each person is different. Each couple pairing is different, and the scenarios, yeah. Yeah, and chat, if you have been cheated on, I'm very sorry about that. That no one should ever have to go through that. It's that's really sad, and it breaks my heart, because some people, like, it just breaks my heart. And I am sorry for that. And I would say the best thing you can do, and this is controversial, I know people find this controversial, the best way that you can move on, and I've never been cheated on, so that is, you know, just straight up, I've never been cheated on, so I can't really speak from experience, but I have been betrayed by friends. But forgive. I know people do awful things out there, but the more you hold on to things, like, the more it ends up hurting you. So I'm not saying, like, you need to forget and that you, like, shouldn't remember what happened, and you forgive them. And that means saying, like, hey, and it takes time, trust me. Oh, gosh, it takes so much time. It, like, I wish I could say I am a great example of this, but a situation I had, it's taken years in some sense to completely let go of the residual feelings of resentment and just, I wouldn't say hatred, but that resentment and that just disdain towards a particular individual. I wish I was better at it, if I'm being perfectly honest. But forgiving them helps you heal and move on, and you become a better person that way. Yeah. Don't hold on to the hate. Yeah, learn from it. Yeah, I'm like don't forget, and I'm not saying you have to, like, sweep everything they did under the rug. Sometimes what people do is genuinely bad. Like, sometimes the things people do, like, this even applies to breakups. Like, even if they did something really bad, and it wasn't cheating, but it was still really bad, and they did something to you, like, I can't speak on the situation, but it will help you move on if you take that out of your heart and learn lessons from those. And it's not always your fault, but consider, just consider what you can learn from it, even if it might not be your fault. There is a chance you might have some culpability in it, and it depends on the scenario. Hey, you can do what you want. One of the things that I found regarding, like, life in general is that here's an example, and it's kind of a minor one compared to, like, what other people say. But for a long time, I did not see myself as a particularly creative individual. I never saw it that way. It's not like anyone told me I wasn't creative. It's just I never thought I was, even though in reality I really was. And I think maybe one person said it to me, and I kind of, like, it just kind of hit me. I was like, oh yeah, I'm not really creative. But if you talk to yourself and you think, hey, if you tell yourself what you can be, then it really helps. It took one person telling me, say, hey, Aurelia, you're way more creative than you think. And I said, yeah, really? Right. And I said, no, you are. And then they gave examples. And I was like, oh, I really realized that I was. And that applies to like anything in life. Like if you think you are smart, or you think you are capable, loyal, and you think that you're creative, you can be that things. Even if you don't think you are in the moment, you tell yourself that you are, and you try to be that thing, you'll become it eventually. And there are limits. Like I can't tell myself like, oh, I'm gonna be a #1 like baseball player like that without having a baseball background. Like that's not gonna happen. There are limits to it, I will say. Sometimes it can hurt a lot. Oh, I'm so sorry for your loss. That's really tragic. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. That really is sad. Yeah, this applies to more than just cheating. Holding on to things really waste your time, even if you don't fully forgive them. They can leave your life for good. Don't waste time by dwelling on it. Yeah, so an analogy I heard a long time ago was this professor was teaching a class, and she had a glass of water in her hand, and she like held it in front of her. And she basically said, like, how long could I hold on to this glass of water for before I felt like I needed to put it down? People said like a long time. Like it was like she could hold on to it for a long time. Then she like put it above her head, and she said, how long could I hold on to this before my arm starts to get tired and I need to put it like down? And it's like a much shorter amount of times. Like the longer you hold on to something, like the more it can hurt you. The Golden Warriors are skilled with counsel as they are with spears. Yes, they have been designed for many things, many facets. We talk about a lot of stuff. I don't normally get into the wholesome side all the time, but it felt like it was a good moment to kind of get into it. So, and thank you. I'm glad you think I'm creative. I definitely believe that about myself now. I have for I think a couple of years at this point, but for the longest time I just didn't. Yes, that is what the emperors trained them to do. Yes. I'm glad you enjoyed the wholesome. It definitely kind of came out of nowhere, but I like to talk about it because I think it is really important for people to understand. And if I can help some people by imparting just a little bit of wisdom to help people heal, honestly, I think I'm happy. I'm happy with that. Like I could, like if I stopped and I never streamed again after this, I would be happy that I got to say these words to you today. Yeah, go to sleep, get some sleep. You just got some wisdom. That's a lot. It's a lot right now. Yeah, it takes a lot to forgive people. It's never easy. It's never easy. So all of you who've dealt with something hard in your life, I know we all have one aspect for another. Some people it's different or it's worse. Like you are capable of it. I highly recommend it. Like it's not easy, trust me. And I wish I was a better exemplar of being a forgiving person, but I unfortunately am not. But I'm trying. Well, it's a lot. It's a lot to deal with. So I appreciate you all listening and hearing what I had to say. It's yeah. Oh, I'm gonna take a sip of water after that. That was a lot of talking. All right. Well, with that chat, I don't think I have much more to say. Yeah, it did take kind of like it did take a turn, but I'm glad I got to share this all with you, and I hope you got something out of it. And even if you didn't, that's perfectly fine. I'm fairly certain that someone in here did, even if you don't say anything, and you never need to. I'm sure someone got something out of this. And I'm rooting for you. I really am. You have the power to make your life better. Oh, that sounded so cheesy, but I felt like I needed to say that for some reason. So, yeah. Oh, thank you for the bits of old. You didn't. No, you don't have to do that. My advice is free of charge, perfectly free of charge. And thank you for the people who are joining. I hope you found this inspiring enough. Okay, chat. With that, I think we've had a lot of fun for today. I will be posting a schedule soon for the rest of this week. We'll have more fun content to go through. I don't know what exactly is on the docket just yet. I have real life responsibilities. People want to have dinner with your fellow custodies here, so I have to I have to figure that out. Am I raiding out tonight? Oh my gosh, I didn't even look. We're probably just chilling. How are we going to explain to the next channel what we were up to? Let me see if there's anyone on my raid list that's out and doing stuff. There might be. Okay, nothing on Twitch that I can see. Oh, I don't like that. Don't do that. Let me look at the YouTube side and see if there's anything that we're gonna raid over there. No, Taki, thank you for the bits. Oh no, dinner, another intervention. No. Not my family. Other people. Oh my gosh. Oh, I want to raid this person so bad, but she doesn't know me. Oh my gosh. There's a girl, Ulrika from Phase Connect. It's her first time eating Taco Bell. And I want to raid her so badly because I love Taco Bell, but like she has like 94k followers. We can't. No. I'm not clout chasing, even though, let the record state, I really wanted to raid her because she is having Taco Bell for the first time. And that looks like a ball. I'm probably going to go watch this stream right afterwards because I need to know her opinions. Just do it? No, chat. I can't bring myself to do that. I'm not... no, chat. I appreciate I appreciate that your support, but there is I'm a little far off the mark at the moment. Eventually, I do like her streams. You should check her out. She's got really good streams. She's killer on the violin. She does her she does some violin streams late at night. She starts at like 11 o'clock at night because she does vertical streams to catch some of the people who are on YouTube Shorts. And I will listen to her while I work on stream activities. It's really nice and soothing. Just remember, Taco Tuesday is on Friday. It is. Anyways, chat, so we're not going to raid out tonight, but we'll do it another time. Hopefully one day I can raid Ulrika from Phase Connect because she is cool. She's cool. So, yeah, anyways, I could keep saying anyways. Have a good day, chat. And I will catch you later this week. You'll have a stream schedule either tonight or tomorrow. So I will catch you then. As I said before, thank you for being here, and you have the power to make your life better, okay? Just forgive. I believe in you. All right. I'll catch you guys later. Bye.